But
he looks just like Andy Dufresne, for those that are wondering what I'm
anyways,
talking about.
Little home cooking.
it is Indiana basketball being good. It's like the Lakers in Indiana basketball being good is good for college basketball.
Since 2000, Indiana
They've been bad.
did go, of course, in 2002 to a national championship game. Since 2002, their deepest run has been
Sweet 16, isn't
Sweet
it?
16, 1-2 times.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just irrelevant. That's 30 years. I mean, everybody who's 25 years, anybody who's watched those teams now doesn't care. Like, there's not anyone under the age of 30 who realizes, or 40, they realized Indiana was like a once proud.
And maybe
program.
this is an age thing too. This is though like why I think what Cody and I are saying. Like since I've been born, Indiana has been to 2 Final Fours. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's it. They've been to 2 Final Fours, and I'm 34 years old. Like you can't be a blue blood anymore, and all that, or in that same category.
No, I'm
of
saying
that.
if he gets them to be good and they're in for like 2 or 3 seasons in the top 10 consistently, they make a run to the Elite Eight or something.
He makes them back to the Elite Eight. He probably is getting a blue blood job. And it's
No,
not
I
bad.
know.
Drew's saying that they're just going to pay him.
Indiana
and keep him.
becomes a blue blood if they go. It is that fast with Indiana basketball. In my opinion, it's that fast.
I still think there are 20 jobs at least that you would leave Indiana for. I'd leave for UConn, Kansas, North Carolina.
The best comp you can give.
There's a bunch of jobs.
The text line's right. I think you're about to say it.
The best
You're
comp
right.
is from a texter. I appreciate
Correct.
this. Indiana basketball is Nebraska football.
Very
And
similar.
Bingo. Spot on. Same deal.
And the same thing. It's like if you got Nebraska really good, there are 30 jobs you'd leave Nebraska for. And that's not like now, just now, not ever,
Yeah.
but like now, unless you really ponied up the dough. If the SEC came calling, at least you're in the Big Ten, so maybe that'd be different. But there are jobs that are just
In
bigger
fairness,
than Indiana.
Nebraska's also in the Big Ten, which is still nuts to think about. Maybe they should go back to the Big 12.
Bring them all back. Nebraska, Colorado, Missouri, please.
Trash of the day.
Someone was saying, who was the dude that broke his leg in the tourney? Wasn't that an Indiana player? No, I think it was a Louisville player.
The really one, Kevin?
Kevin Ware.
Yep, Ware.
Kevin Ware.
Yeah.
That
That was the
was-
Final Four Wichita State was in. So that was 2014,
That one still gives me the.
13,
13,
something like
The
that.
year before they won the title, I think, right? Or maybe it was
yeah.
that was when Patino was still there.
Yeah, the vacated. Yes, that might be it. That might be the right timeline. Anyway, all right. Let's get to a story out of Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis police responded to an accidental injury call around 4 a.m. A gentleman named Gerald told police he was lying in bed with his female friend when his dog jumped on the bed. This happens. Been there before, you know? Dog likes to sleep in the bed.
My dog sleeps on the floor, but
The
I've had
dog's
dogs
name
that sleep
was
in the bed.
Oreo, or is Oreo. Oreo. The 1-year-old pit bull allegedly got its paw stuck in the trigger guard, and he hit the trigger.
And shot him?
Poor Gerald, says he was grazed by a bullet in the top of his left thigh because he had the gun in bed with him.
Why?
I have no
and
idea.
the safety wasn't on?
I have no idea.
The dog unclicked the safety with his paw, too?
Reports say the female friend left the scene after the accidental shooting and took the gun with her. The victim was taken to a hospital, non-critical condition. Quote, there was a freak incident and the dog jumped up and caused the gun to discharge, said a friend of the wounded man. The friend said the pit bull is really friendly and that the friend is fine.
I don't think the pit bull shot him on purpose. Thanks.
Reporter visited.
I didn't bite him.
The reporter visited the house Monday and was told the victim was not there, but the dog named Oreo was. Oreo pulled the trigger accidentally.
My great uncle had like 3 straight black labs, and they were all named Oreo. After one would die, he just named the next one Oreo again. Is that weird?
No, I mean, I am under the. Everybody has their own. I don't like my dog. My dog is named Zoe. I don't think I would ever have a dog again named Zoe. To me, it's like that's the one dog I'll have my memories with. That dog that I have now named Zoe, and then it's if I ever get a dog in the future.
The dog is nice is the funniest part of that entire story because, like, again, the dog didn't bite someone's face.
Why is he?
The dog
He's in
shot
bed.
him.
He's
The
in
dog
bed at
didn't even
3
have
a.m.
thumbs.
with He's in bed with at 3 a.m. with a woman.
And you got a pistol.
And you
Why?
you have a loaded gun in bed with you.
Can't just
What
put
do
it in
you-
like the table side, you know? Got like a little gun safe, sir.
Who knows? She took the gun. The woman took the gun. So was
She
it not?
shot him. Come on, she shot him. She's like, the dog did it.
So you
Let's not
think
run any GSR in my hands or anything.
There is no way a dog.
The paw. I'm just trying to think.
There's
The
no way.
paw
What kind of
getting-
SNL skit is this? A dog got his paw
There's
stuck
no
in
way.
there and pulled the trigger?
I mean, the fact that the woman took the gun, makes me wonder what was going on there. Actually, what was up there?
It would be. conceivably hilarious. If she didn't fire and she just left, are they able to trace like dog prints on the gun to determine this? Like, how does that investigation?
I don't know if you can.
I love
can you test for GSR like a dog paw?
I love a good crime show.
Well, your Oreo had some gun residue on his right paw.
How is that going down?
Get out of here.
I don't know, guys.
Like the investigation, how does it happen?
I mean, this could have been way worse. This is why this guy got grazed by a bullet.
Yeah, lucky he only got grazed.
How is there the story, like the police just bought the story, like there's no like, hey, we want to talk to the woman that was in the bed with you.
And where's the gun? And was it legal? I'm sure it's registered.
I'm
Otherwise
guessing
he would have gone to the police.
They had to have.
Yeah, true.
We just go to the
I
hospital.
don't go to the police, yeah.
Just go to the hospital with a gunshot wound.
You answer nothing. You'd be like, I don't know how this happened. I was just sitting in my bed.
I was in bed and I woke up and I was shot.
I was walking down the street and the gun just hit me. It's crazy.
I don't know. That story out of Memphis, Tennessee. Up next, Chiefs Red Half Hour. One thing you think can change depending on the draft, but you like about this team in the AFC West. And we'll find out if we've got some more news on the draft front next.
Cody and Gold.
I didn't sleep well. I was drunk.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5, The Fan.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. The weather's getting warmer. You might want to go outside a little bit more, get a nice fresh cut, everything like that. Try to make yourself look good, for your lady and impress her a little bit. But what if you also could perform well in the bedroom and make her even happier? Turn oh no into oh yes with Blue Chew. Blue Chew is your secret weapon for the bedroom or wherever you decide to get it on. Your partner wants you to do whatever it takes to make your sex life better. We see all the athletes every single day getting ready for the season and preparing their bodies as much as they can so that when it's time to perform, they do the best that they can. What if you could do the exact same thing, but there's no training required? That's where Blue Chew has got you covered. They're licensed medical providers. They work with you to find the right ingredient and strength for your prescription. And if you don't like swallowing pills, it's totally fine because Blue Chew's tablets are chewable. If you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, visit BlueChew.com. I got a great offer for you. Free. Sounds awesome, doesn't it? Of course it does. Go to BlueChew.com and get your first month free when you use our promo code KFNZ at checkout. You just pay $5 in shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code KFNZ to receive your first month free. Then you'll be ready to chew it and do it.
Here's a question. Would you take your storm-damaged car to a body shop that only did bumpers? Of course not. So why call just a roofing company after your entire home or business goes through a storm? Get more than a roofer. Get an experienced restoration team. Get PAC Construction Services. We're seasoned construction professionals and, are you ready? Former insurance adjusters. Our 100 years of diverse and specialized experience means faster repairs, fewer hassles, and fewer delays. Our emergency response team is on call 24/7 for storm damage, fire, water, and even mold restoration. Veteran-owned, Kansas City trusted. No one will care more for your home or business inside and out than we will. We're ready when you need us. Visit PacKC.com and schedule a free inspection. With KC's recent storm history, there's a good chance you could already have covered damage. Find out today at PacKC.com. That's PACTKC.com.
Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with cancer? You want the most knowledgeable physicians with the latest technology. That's KCPI, the Kansas City Proton Institute. KCPI has a full suite of the most advanced imaging and treatment technology necessary to localize high-intensity proton beams. That's a critical part of maximizing cure rates while minimizing recovery time and long-term side effects. Proton therapy provides patients with the most advanced form of radiation treatments for cancer. It destroys cancer cells with supreme accuracy, reducing the risk of harmful side effects. KCPI has Kansas City's first and only system that uses pencil beam technology, resulting in precision targeting and less radiation to your surrounding healthy tissue. Proton therapy is now available in the comfort of an office at KCPI, making it more efficient and affordable than a hospital. So contact KCPI for the most knowledgeable physicians with the latest technology. Don't wait. Get Get precision technology with the highest safety measures with KCPI. Online at kcpi.com.
Missouri sports fans, Underdog is available in your state. Put on your dancing shoes and pick up your phones. It's time to make picks on March college basketball. With Underdog, you can bring the excitement to wherever you watch. Playing on their app, it's as easy as choosing higher or lower on player stats like points, assists, rebounds, and more. Get those picks right, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Millions of fans have won billions on Underdog. You gonna be next? Get out on the game by signing up for Underdog using that promo code TAPP, TAPP, to claim a gimme pick for as part of your first cash entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus credits when you deposit. Cash in on every bucket this season with Underdog. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Void where prohibited. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
When you buy a new house, you might say,
"Shut the front door."
Winning!
No, seriously. Shut the front door. We own this house now.
but you actually need to say,
"Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there."
that's right. The local State Farm agent is there to help you choose the coverage you need.
Welcome to my crib. No one says that anymore, but I don't care.
So just remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
Oh, honey, it's our favorite leaf filter trusted pro, Matt. Matt, come in, come in.
Hi, Mrs. Sparks. You wanted me to stop by? Is everything okay with your leaf filter gutter protection system?
Okay, of course, silly. We wanted you to stop by for dinner as our way of thanking you.
Yes, to thank you for that free gutter inspection, the free estimate, and what was the other thing?
That lifetime guarantee.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Sparks, those are just Leaf Filter's policies. Everyone who calls Leaf Filter gets a trusted pro to come out for a free gutter inspection and estimate. And every Leaf Filter installation comes with a lifetime guarantee.
So it's not just us?
No, sir. We don't want anyone to worry about clogged gutters ever again.
You mean everyone gets this level of service?
Everyone. They just need to visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule their free inspection.
Okay, but you must be starving. You work so hard.
Ready to love your gutter protection as much as we do? Visit leaffilter.com/deal and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Welcome to TGL presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer-dropping, overtime-forcing, playoffs on the line golf. Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Your life, your goals, your legacy. With a dedicated Fidelity advisor, it's all part of a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Opening day coverage is brought to you by Hollywood Casino. Stop by Hollywood Casino every Wednesday in March from 12 until 2 to register for your chance to win opening day tickets. Your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
It is the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Welcome back into Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you on a Friday edition of the show. We'll get maybe into the draft in just a bit. Plus, in the noon hour today, we head back out to Arizona for our conversation with Josh Vernier, our Royals insider. Could be pushed back a little bit. If you missed the news earlier today, Alex Gordon officially going to be inducted into the Royals Hall of Fame. What was the date we saw? July 13th?
June 13th.
June 13th. Yeah, June 13th is when the ceremony will take place. But a no-brainer, well-deserved for Alex Gordon. We'll talk more about that in the noon hour today. But let's talk some Chiefs football, man, because understanding the full picture is not there yet for all these teams. We talked about how we viewed the Chargers and the Broncos and Raiders earlier in the week and what they had or hadn't done for their respective off seasons. What do you make of specifically where things are at with the Broncos? Because they've made a couple more moves even since we talked about them on Tuesday.
Yeah, so the way I view it is, unless something dramatic happens in the draft that really sways this, I think the Broncos are the second best team in the division. So for anybody who might get on a radio station sometime in the next 60 days and try to claim, here come the Chargers to win the AFC West, or I don't think anyone's saying that about the Raiders. That person would be an idiot. But for anybody who might be saying that, and I'm not saying that they're the best team in the division, look at them on paper. They have surpassed a team that has had a good quarterback for a number of years in their pecking order, in my opinion. They have the division's best defense, as it sits right now. They have the division's best offensive line, because they did last year, so barring a big change there. They're okay at quarterback. I'm not saying they're still limited somewhat weapon-wise. It's better than it was. I'm not saying they're the world-beater offense, but the Chargers weren't a world-beater offense last year, and they have a limited weapon base, and their offensive line is worse than Denver's, and their defense is worse than Denver's. And they don't have the pass rushers Denver does. They're better at quarterback, but that can't make up the difference for the Broncos are doing a better job at team building than the other three teams that aren't, or the other two teams in the division that aren't the Chiefs right now in there. Maybe the draft will change my opinion. I'm pretty convinced I'm going to go into August and September convinced the Broncos are finishing second in this division and making the playoffs.
They're only a game back from the Chargers, who did finish second, so it's not like there's a huge gap for them to make up, even if you just want to go off of standings last year. It was the Chiefs, of course, and then the Chargers, and then the Broncos by a game. In terms of 1, 2, 3 in this division, yeah, clearly the Raiders are the worst team and still will be the worst team, I think, heading into the season. Yeah, look, the defense, I told you earlier in the week, I love the two 49ers signings. And then they had Evan Ingram, who had a really nice couple of years there in Jacksonville. The only question with Denver, and where you could say, hey, all right, yes, they had a great offseason, but are they actually the second best team in the division, is your belief that Bo Nix either elevates or I guess stays the same, or does he regress? Does he have a sophomore slump?
If he regresses, it's a problem. If he's just the same, I don't think it's a problem at all.
Yeah. And I was looking at their schedule. Of course, there's a lot of common opponents the Chiefs would have, other than the division. They're playing the AFC East, but also, remember, they were a third-place team, so they're playing a third-place schedule. They're not playing a second-place schedule like the Chargers. So the Broncos, other than the obvious teams they're all playing, they get the Colts this upcoming season, the Texans, the Jags, the Titans. And then they have the same NFC East schedule like the Chiefs, right? They're going to play the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Commanders, and the Giants. That's not a terrible. I mean, if you're just going off of records, they're playing a combined 121 and 117 from a year ago, record-wise.
So they got to face some more winning teams, but part of that is because the division had three
they're
winning
in position.
teams.
It's all about your belief in Bo Nix, I guess, really is what it is. And in year 2 of Harbaugh, does the Chargers' offense look better? The issue I have with Harbaugh offensively, he's old school. That's why they brought in Najee Harris. They're going to still, I don't think, ever unleash Justin Herbert. They did for that one Sunday night game. We all watched wow. Oh, yeah, I forgot Justin Herbert can still sling the ball pretty darn well. But they're still always going to be more of a run-heavy scheme because that's who Harbaugh is. And I still don't know across a 17-game schedule if that is going to allow you to win the games to put you in position to be a true threat. I understand last year, as we said, divisional standings, they were 11-6. They won 11 games. They won final 3 games of the season, as a matter of fact.
Versus the best version of a Sean Payton offense is just efficiency. We just murder you with efficiency over and over and over again in the style of Drew Brees. Look, I think Bo Nix is Drew Brees.
I'm more confident, though, that Harbaugh can get the leap forward than I am Sean Payton, who's now heading into, year 3? Or year 4 in Denver?
But I went back through, and part of the reason I came to this conclusion is what you're talking about with Harbaugh. Harbaugh, even in the year he went to the Super Bowl, right, with the 49ers, they were an okay offense. I'm not saying they were bad or anything. They were fine, right? And so he's never been some elite-minded offensive coach. And it always feels like their plan on offense is, I just hope Justin Herbert's real good. And that never reeks of a team that's, competing for a division until you figure out how to, utilize him and utilize the weapons around him. He'll be a tough-nosed team. They won't make mistakes. They were so much better defensively last year, but the Broncos were just as good as them defensively. Even despite that, they were just as good as them. They got better pass rushers, better linebackers. They had the better offseason than the Chargers. And look, maybe it's way too early. Maybe I should wait for the rest of the draft or whatever day 4 free agents, 5 free agents we're looking at now. I'm just convinced that they're the second best team in the division. And it'd be hard for me to move off of that, truthfully, before the start of the season. It would take some big power play moves or the draft, just drafting the guys that I love somehow.
Yeah, I mean, if the
for LA,
Chargers pull off, let's say Trey Hendrickson does get traded from Cincy, and he ends up with the Chargers plus the draft picks that they have. I think that's still another way to change it. They brought back Mike Williams. I don't know if you guys saw that. That was the other move that the Chargers did make. They brought back Mike Williams, the wide receiver room, to go with Ladd McConkey. The Chargers draft picks, I'm trying to see how many draft picks that they have. Chargers 2025, not just draft order, but draft picks heading into this, and compared to even Denver and all that. And how much can they actually improve the roster the rest of the way? They had a ton of cap space. They added three more. They added 3 more comp picks this week. Crazy. So they have 10 picks in the draft. Woo! Yeah, so they actually have a good amount of draft picks. Round 1, number 22 overall, 1 second-round pick, 3rd-round pick, and then they have a 4th, a 5th, and then the extra picks are 4 6th-round picks. Now, I'm assuming they're going to use one of those to move up in another round, like move up a little bit closer in round 4 or 3 or something like that. I doubt they're taking 4 6th-round selections. That would be pretty stunning.
I mean, good luck. If you can draft like Brett Veach does in the 6th round, you probably do. That's the whole thing with Brett Veach, why I'm like pro him trading down more, is that he does his best work rounds 4 through 7. He does fine work. I'm not complaining about rounds 1 through 3. He does fine there. I don't think he's like drafting poorly there or anything outside of. He's only had 3 or 4 first-round picks total. Yeah, he does his best works round 4 through 7.
You know, just clearly, though, and it helps when you win. Harbaugh got that team to buy in so quickly.
Yeah,
Derwin James, the fact that he immediately became kind of like the biggest Harbaugh fan, and that's the guy that's been in that organization and had every reason to be skeptical and everything like that. And he was all in, and because they won right away. And I get it. Herbert, we're at the point now where he has to win in the playoffs for people's perception to change. I get it. But also, he is not a bad quarterback or anything like that. Ultimately, for his legacy and everything, he's going to have to start winning the playoffs. But we're just talking about how many wins can you get in the regular season, and
can they compete for second place in the division?
And Justin Herbert, you could do a million times worse in the NFL. We're talking about the Raiders trading for Geno Smith. We're talking about the Steelers either waiting for Aaron Rodgers or having to start Mason Rudolph or Russell Wilson again. We're talking about the Jets starting Justin Fields. I mean, there's a lot worse quarterback situation. The Cleveland Browns are going with Kenny Pickett or Russell Wilson. I mean, we can just go on and on. There's way worse situations in the NFL for Harbaugh to have to deal with.
He's got one of the, 10 or 15 best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Is there a certain point where
feels like it should be higher, but it hasn't?
Is there a certain point where we start talking about him the way that we do other quarterbacks who have made the playoffs who are really talented that don't win? Is it
like Kirk Cousins?
Is it them getting another wide receiver? I mean, even Kirk Cousins. Trevor Lawrence has done more in the playoffs. Obviously, he beat Justin Herbert, but
he's got one win.
If they add another wide receiver that's high quality, and then it's Ladd and insert whoever, is that where we start to really judge them more harshly? Is, okay, you've got the defense, you've got the head coach, you've got better weapons than you've had before. At what point do we start judging? I mean, or is it right now?
They stripped down the roster last year, and then they surprised a lot of people and won 10 games in year 1 with Harbaugh. And now the thought is, okay, they have full offseason with cap space and all this, and now they can get the roster up to snuff. The thing, if you look at Harbaugh's track record, there's going to be 3 or 4 years of really, really good stuff. And then in year 5 or 6, usually everywhere he leaves like a path of destruction behind. I mean, look at his time in Michigan, obviously. Even go back to his time with San Francisco. Yep. It's usually great for the first 4 or 5 years. And then he's like, well, I'm out of here. I made a mess. We had some success, and then I'm done. And we're only in year 2 of it. So it's still multiple good years ahead for Harbaugh. Their wide receiver room right now, Mike Williams, Quentin Johnson, who's been a disappointment, Ladd McConkey.
Yeah, it's just not good.
Their offensive line is legit, though. Offensive line is pretty legit. Rashawn Slater, Zion Johnson, Bozeman's the center, and then Joe Alt's the right tackle.
But again, it's still not as good as Denver's. Denver had the best offensive line in football, I thought, last year. That was part of the reason. If you want to talk about regression, where they could get worse in a hurry, have one injury on the offensive line where Bo Nix might have to make a quicker decision than he was forced to make or had to make at any particular point.
But they're all still chasing the Chiefs ultimately, right? And that's, I saw yesterday, we played the audio, but I saw today, there was another national radio host said he's picking the Chargers to win. I'm just amazed that on March 14th, we're already getting people saying the Chargers or whoever are going to win the West. It's fine when the offseason's over if you want to make that prediction that this is the year the Chiefs streak comes to an end. But I just don't know how you can look at a team that's been so dominant, that's going to have the same core pieces back, same head coach, and before you even know the rest of the offseason for any of these teams, you can say, oh, yeah, this is the year where they're losing, other than like you're just hoping that you're right this time.
Yeah.
I think that's all that it is. They're tired of the Chiefs.
They just think that like 3 Super Bowls in a row. And look, if you're just basing on odds, attending 3 Super Bowls in a row, that would be a natural conclusion.
Oh, if you want to say they're not going to the Super Bowl, I don't think that's a crazy thing to say because it's very hard to do. But I'm just saying to say they're already going to lose the division on March 14th is wild.
Yeah, they haven't made a draft pick.
We haven't even got to the mock draft sounder and where these teams are going to draft.
That's right.
Is this a kid draft today based on yesterday's conversation? Is this where we would have been drafted as kids?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think that would have been.
Were you a good kid, Drew? Be honest.
Yeah.
He says, be honest.
Yeah.
Did you ever get detention?
No.
You ever been suspended?
No.
Okay.
You have, right?
I've never been suspended.
Oh,
I never got detention. I told you I was a good kid.
Yeah.
I'm worse now.
There were also
I got worse as time went on.
There were also sports ramifications, obviously, where I didn't want to be suspended because if I wanted to play, then why the hell would I mess around, and everything like that. Now, I had a lot of friends who were going to detention or getting suspended because
rough crowd.
You changed there. I was say before your profile pic was still like a high school profile pic, the one you had before. You were like a skater. It looked like you were about to go to the skate park.
That's when I was in like a junior in college. It was not high school.
But now
I didn't
it's
start
just,
getting in trouble.
Are you? By the way, real quick, are you? We mentioned the haircut.
I'm gonna have to update it.
Yeah. Are you the photos you with the blonde hair? Are you gonna have to change it again?
We'll see. He was after his boy Joe.
I don't know. Up until you mentioned it now, I haven't thought about it. But we're going to Fox Sports for our mock draft.
Okay.
First time. David Hellman is the one who wrote this. And also there's a new position in the first round and a new name for the Kansas City Chiefs in this mock draft. At pick 31, he has the Chiefs taking Mason Taylor, tight end from LSU.
Oh, this is, I know.
What?
This is Jason Taylor's.
Correct.
Like
son?
the former Miami Dolphin defensive end?
Yeah.
Jason Taylor's son, right?
Yes.
And this is Joy Taylor's nephew?
Quite the lineage with this kid, Mason Taylor.
Joy Taylor's nephew, right? Because Jason Taylor was her brother.
I don't know the exact lineage
Yeah,
of the
that
Taylor
would
family.
have to be it, though,
but
right?
yes.
If Jason Taylor's her brother,
I know he's Jason
the former
Taylor's
great
son.
Dolphin. And
I believe, yes.
If that's her
the
brother,
nephew
then
of-
the nephew
of Joy Taylor.
Mason Taylor.
So a tight end in the first round?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not anti-pass catcher in the first round, but
that
like,
seems early.
How many snaps can you get Mason Taylor?
Do you want me to read? Do you want me to read?
Yeah, let me hear the description.
It seems early for him, but go ahead. Yeah.
All right, so from, again, David Hellman of Fox Sports, the popular pick is going to be offensive lineman, and that makes sense. But with Jalen Moore signed on for the next 2 years, maybe the Chiefs look to the future. Travis Kelce is back for 25, but it's plain to see his career is winding down. Taylor is one of the year's most complete tight ends, and he'd help this offense as both a blocker and a receiver. If they're going to pick a tight end who would contribute more, Mason Taylor's higher on the depth chart than Jared Wiley off jump.
But is he higher than Noah Gray?
No doubt. No, I'm not so sure.
No.
I'm not so sure right away.
I think he's third.
The comp, we
And
love
Tunyon
comps.
would be cut.
You love comps. Here's the comp for Mason Taylor.
Better be Travis
I'm
Kelce
guessing,
if you take him in the
Jason
first round.
Witten. That'd be my guess. I don't know if he's that good.
Dallas Goddard.
It's a
You
good-
would take that, by the way.
Yeah.
You would take that. in a
most
heart-
teams would take Dallas Goddard.
Here's the weakness for him is makes it too easy to read and jump his route breaks. Needs to bring his hands inside to improve blocking. Okay, but tracks and adjusts the throws with ideal consistency. I feel like Mason Taylor. I don't even hate the pick. I thought that's early, isn't he? I thought he was a second round guy. That's all.
I'm going through the order
he's
now.
He's more of a second round guy. He could be going in the first round. It just depends on what teams are at. In terms of his production value, it's interesting. So I'm looking at Pro Football Focus. He had 248 snaps in the slot at LSU last year. So, he can move around a little bit. Yardage-wise, he's about 550 targeted, or he had 55 catches for 546 at LSU. Good, solid target, really good player over the course of his time. He's not, Tyler Warren by any stretch of the imagination or Brock Bowers, but he's good.
There's like a new mocker though, When I see somebody's name I don't recognize, it's like, do I got to trust him? He has a team trading up for Jalen Milroe? Is that a possibility? Is Jalen Milroe going to be in the first
Depending
round?
on how desperate they are, I guess.
He had the Cleveland Browns trading up for Jalen.
Oh, from 33,
Milroe.
yeah, I see that.
He also had Shedeur not going till 4. He had the Raiders trading up to get
Fourth
him.
overall.
Mm-hmm. Why would the Raiders take the 4th overall pick if they just gave Geno a contract?
There's an argument though. You should have. If you
Then
felt
just start
confident,
Shedeur. It's
well,
like it's,
yeah. Yeah, in fairness, they haven't given a new deal yet
extension,
to Gino, I guess.
That's fair.
It goes back to yesterday's convo we had where you were saying, if you like the guy, draft. If you hate the guy, don't draft him kind of thing, right? I mean,
I guess at that point, though, it's like, and maybe you take Gino because you're like, well, we can't be sure we're going to get Shadur.
There also is a
But in this case, it's like if Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter, who they're projecting to go 2 and 3,
There's another interesting trade in this. He has the Broncos trading up to get Ashton Genty.
oh wow, him and that with that offensive line we just talked about, that would actually be really, really impressive. That'd be a problem, I would say.
I wouldn't love it.
Yeah, that'd be a little bit of a problem. I don't want him in the AFC West.
He has the Chargers taking Mike Green, who's an edge rusher out of Marshall. He's one of the small school guys who's really, really, really good. He had 17 sacks last year. Of course, that's in Sunbelt play, but 17 sacks is 17 sacks.
No, Ashton Genty, I would not want him in the AFC West. I'll be. I understand it might only be like a 5-year problem, but that's still 5 years is a long time in the NFL. If Ashton Genty, he's a type of he's one of the guys in the draft that immediately will have success because of the position. Like right away, Ashton Genty can be 1,000-yard back.
If you put him in front of him, like you said, if you put him behind a good O line too, man, it can make him even a little bit more dangerous with the home run speed and all.
So
that.
They laughed when they heard the trade up for Milrow, but then they heard Browns. So
they're like, you know, actually that tracks.
They would be dumb enough.
You don't actually kind of trust this Hellman guy because he thinks the Browns are a stupid organization who might do dumb things.
He also had the Browns taking Travis Hunter second overall in this mock. So that you get Travis Hunter, you get Jalen Milrow. Of course, Milrow is
I thought Jackson Dart was the hot name.
What's bizarre about the Browns is I understand they just gave Myles Garrett the huge money, but if you just like knowing that your quarterback situation sucks, why not also just draft Abdul? No, draft Abdul Carter and just say we're going Abdul Carter, Myles Garrett. We're just going to be a complete pain in the ass to go up against.
We're going to try to win every game 9-7 and hope that you physically can't move.
Drew's shaking his head because he doesn't want that for Cincinnati.
The Ravens don't want it, the Steelers don't want it, and the Bengals don't want it.
You know you're not going to. Your quarterback situation is a disaster. If you can't trade out of pick number 2, I would just draft Carter and you have Carter and Garrett. That's insane.
That'd be a unit. I mean, that'd be a scary defense, even if nobody else plays defense for him. That's a scary defense.
You guys are absolutely right, though. Every game would be their goal would be to win 10-7 every single time.
Kenny Pickett, he's set up for that.
All right, over on the streams, you can always watch the show: YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. Subscribe, like over on Twitch and YouTube. Then we can pop to the top of your feed. You'll know when we're going live. Over on YouTube, someone was asking about. They wanted the Desmond update. We promised at 10, 20, or 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Here's the update. So I told you he had gotten in trouble a couple of weeks ago. Because the girl in class who, their boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever, even though we've told them you can't call yourselves that, you should just be friends.
Right.
Gave him a kiss on the cheek, and then the teacher had to call and explain that those aren't things we do at school. Yesterday he comes home and he said, I got great news. This can't be good. He said, she kissed me again.
Okay.
Said, but
what's your reaction when he says that, by the way?
No good, dude. He already got in trouble with the teacher.
What's your first reaction?
Well, I just said, okay, because I don't want him, I can't encourage his behavior. No, he's actively not.
Congratulations.
He's not supposed to be kissing in class. She kissed me on the cheek.
Yeah, they're in kindergarten. Yeah.
Desmond is not doing the kissing.
I know. But he said, but nobody saw this time, so nobody knows.
Because he was worried about the other kid.
He said, but the problem, the concern I have officially is the scheming. He said, last time the reason we got caught is she started to tell people about the kiss. They found out, got in trouble. He said, this time we decided we wouldn't tell anybody. I'm like, stop.
But he told you. That's good. That's good.
So
he's telling you. Cool. That's good. He told you.
I tried to play it cool. I'm like, you seem really happy, man. I'm glad you're in a good mood. You got to tell. Like I told him, our talk today was, hey, today's a day. You got to tell her. No kissing at school. This is it. That was it.
What did he say?
That was the last ride. And he's like, but no one saw. So his thing is like,
here's the worry. Do you think he's going to stop telling you?
Maybe. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried he's going to stop telling me. Of course.
Because you wonder, it's good that he's telling you. He's not trying to hide it from you. But I wonder if you want to obviously keep that going.
I said, I'm glad you guys really enjoy each other's company. I'm glad you guys hang out. He said they sit at lunch they're like an old married couple. They sit together at lunch every day. He said, I talk to her a lot at lunch. We sit next to each other every day. I'm like, oh my God.
What are kindergartens talking about at lunch together?
He's probably talking about Super Mario Odyssey or something. She's probably not even interested in what he has to say. That's the game he's like way back into again. So it's probably that one.
Back when you didn't have to have any problems, that was really nice. When you could just,
for sure.
You just talk some Super Mario Odyssey. And I told him, I did give him one piece of advice on that. He said, I talk a lot when we sit at lunch together. I said, you know what? It's important to let her talk too,
Listen
to her.
Yes, life lesson.
Listen to what she has
Life
to say
lesson of the
too.
day.
Listen to her interests as well. This isn't all about you, okay?
So
This is a back and forth.
It sounds like you're really on the fence, Cody, where you're not necessarily giving him advice in a way, but also you don't want it to go any further. So I think at some point you should just stop giving him advice. Like, you know what? Keep on talking, Desmond. You're doing great. If you want it to end sooner.
I don't know, man. I'm worried we're going to get a call today from the teacher again and be like,
But none so far.
None today. And we couldn't decide. Would you have told the teacher and warned him, be like, hey, it appears this is still going on?
Absolutely not.
I thought it was fair to be like,
he
hey,
told you, so
I'm not going to get you in trouble with your teacher. We're going to talk. I'm going to tell you can't, we can do this.
Yeah.
And then he said, I don't know. He's like, well, she hugs me. She hugs me a lot. I was like, well, how often? He's like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 times a day. I'm like,
oh, jeez.
He's hugging so much.
Oh my gosh, this is outstanding.
In kindergarten.
They're both 6. I mean, I assume the kid's 6. That's how old my kid is.
Huh. Yeah, hopefully you don't get a call today.
Yeah, fingers crossed, man. Let's just get to the weekend. Eventually, I can't believe how long this has lasted. Are you guys impressed that this is like we're in a month into this thing?
It's for a month now, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm waiting for him to come home today and be like, well, I told her what you told me, and it's like that I can't do this anymore.
She didn't seem like that was cool.
Yeah, and she was really upset.
I thought as soon as the whole snitching deal happened,
he's going to blame you. He's going to be mad at you.
As soon as the whole snitching thing and you got called the first time, I thought that was what was going to end it. I was like, dang, it's over. And then for it to be back on?
No.
Wow.
Now he's just like, they don't know. Nobody knows. Doing it in secret. Like, I don't like that.
Says she's a stage 5 clinker run. All right, up next, guys, we'll get to what's trending, talk a little bit more about what happened in the Big 12 tournament with Kansas and what Missouri has in store tonight for Florida.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
If you've been thinking about a brand new vehicle, well, Max Motors is the spot you should be checking out. Hey, it's Alex Gold for Max Motors, telling you once again why Max Motors is the place to go this spring if you're thinking about getting that new vehicle, like a new 2025 Ram 1500. Right now, it's up to 15% off MSRP, plus 1.9% for 72 months. Stock number S250016. Or maybe you're looking for a little bit different vehicle for the family. A new 2024 Chrysler Pacifica Touring L starting at $37,000. Stock number S240379. The weather is starting to get nicer. You're going to be out and about more. Maybe you're thinking about those road trips for the summertime already. Why not get a new vehicle, and why not go to the best in the Midwest at Max Motors, where they're going to walk you through the entire buying process. They're going to explain to you the total cost of ownership, not just what your monthly payment will be. And they've got the best financing options available with the max trade-in values in the Midwest. See dealer for details. Max Motors, the easiest place to buy a car, maxmotors.com. This week, FanDuel is bringing you a Dog of the Day Profit Boost token. One of the best parts about the tourney is when an underdog takes down a powerhouse. And right now, those upsets can get even better because if your underdog bet wins, you'll land even more winnings with a Profit Boost. This is your chance to ride with the long shots, the scrappy teams, the ones that refuse to go quietly. If you've been waiting to join FanDuel, there's no better time. The app's easy to use, and when you win, you'll get paid instantly. Just visit FanDuel.com/Alex to download America's #1 sportsbook today and back your Dog of the Day with a Profit Boost. Because after all, anything can happen in March. FanDuel is the official partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and President, Kansas. Opt-in required. Wager of at least plus 100 odds required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable Profit Boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Guys, I've got big news. I finally decided to lose some weight and improve my health. So I kicked off things with Awaken 180 weight loss. Look, before I dive into the details, I'll tell you what you really want to know. After just 1 week, I'm already down 8 pounds. I mean, I knew the results were going to be quick, but 8 pounds? I'd heard about the Awaken 180 at-home program, and the premise sold me immediately. This is the layout. Eat to lose weight, no meds, no gym, no calorie counting. Plus, once I reach my goal, I'll get free support for life, which was really important to me. And in the past 10 years, Awaken 180 has helped over 800,000 clients achieve exactly what they're doing for me right now. Look, I researched other programs, thought about the meds, but Awaken 180 stood out to me as the clear winner. I chose right. I'm down 8 pounds in just 1 week. There's just no way I can argue with the results, and I don't think you would either. 8 pounds is a lot. Look, my coach is amazing. I'm sleeping better. My energy is through the roof, which I'm warning you about now. If you want results like mine, schedule your Awaken 180 at-home consultation today. Go to awaken180weightloss.com.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Storm season 2025 is here. Get peace of mind on the health of your roof and make Century Roofing your first call. We have extended our free material upgrade sale on all roof replacements. Get a Class 3 or 4 impact-resistant shingle for the same price of the standard 30-year or premium shingle. Save on your insurance premium and see why we continue to be voted best of Johnson County. Trust the pillars of strength for 35 years. KC-based and female-owned. Century Roofing, KC.com.
Century Roofing, trust the pillars of strength.
It's here, Kansas City Northland, your new Academy Sports and Outdoor store. Now open at 9130 Northwest Skyview Avenue. Don't miss our grand opening celebration, Friday, March 14th through Sunday, March 16th. Plus, shop grand opening deals starting Thursday, March 13th at your new Kansas City Northland store and at your Liberty, Overland Park, Olathe, and Belton stores. The first 150 customers in line when the store opens this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 18 and over, get a free mystery gift card with over $15,000 in total weekend prizes.
T-Mobile home internet is all about speed, value.
What you doing, Zach?
I'm rehearsing. There are so many benefits. You got to talk fast.
T-Mobile home internet ranks #1 in customer satisfaction for home wireless internet by J.D. Power.
Wow, you are good.
Try singing it. T-Mobile has price lock.
They won't raise your rate on internet.
Hulu and Paramount Plus on them.
Get T-Mobile home internet all in for just $55 a month with autopay and any postpaid voice line.
Additional terms apply. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Welcome to TGL presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer-dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up. It's golf.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Your life, your goals, your legacy. With a dedicated Fidelity advisor, it's all part of a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Go to 965thefan.com for the Fiery Hot Sevens contest, where you can win a $30 instant scratch ticket, and one person will win the grand prize, a Bobby Witt Jr. autographed jersey and framing, all thanks to our friends at the Kansas Lottery. The Royals Roundtable with Michael Massey, Kyle Isbell, and Josh Vernier. Friday, March 28th, starting at 6 o'clock at Hollywood Casino. Your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC-FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. What's trending?
What's Trending is presented by Baker University, where graduates earn higher salaries and land jobs faster than any other university in Kansas. Applied today at bakeru.edu. We start with college basketball. Missouri gets a win last night in the SEC tournament over Mississippi State. Missouri had lost 3 in a row prior to that one. They get the 85-73 victory. That means tonight, huge game against 2-seed Florida. Florida might be the best team in the country. This is a no-lose situation for Missouri. We'll talk more about it. They can only improve their seeding potentially in the tournament, no matter what happens tonight. They did beat the Gators earlier on in the season. As for Kansas, they lost last night in quarterfinal action against Arizona, 83-76. They, of course, now will just wait for Sunday's selection show to find out where they are headed. Are they going to Denver? Could they be going somewhere else? And also, are they a 7 seed? Are they a 6 seed, 8 seed? I think they're a 7, but that's what they will wait for now with their regular season and conference tournament season coming to a close.
Next up on What's Trending, the Royals officially announced that Alex Gordon will be elected as the newest member of the Royals Hall of Fame. His ceremony will come up in June, leading to a lot of fun things at the K this year. Obviously, Mike Moustakas retired a Royal and signed the one-day contract. They're going to do Mike Moustakas Day at the K, essentially, later this year. Alex Gordon will also get his day in June. I think June 13th is the exact date for there. But a well-deserved Alex Gordon. Obviously, I don't think I've ever gotten tired of hearing that Game 1 home run call or any of the plays he made and left, including like when he went into the left field stands in Chicago and all that stuff. Just a lot of great memories for Alex Gordon. And honestly, you and I have had a chance. Obviously, I covered Alex Gordon, but also like have gotten to know him a little bit off the field after his playing career. He's just a super good dude. So you're always happy to see good things happen to good people.
Elsewhere in the NFL, Cooper Kupp is expected to make a decision today. Diana Rossini reporting that today will be the day. He doesn't want this to drag on too long. Some reports say he still could get $12 to $14 million a year despite his injury history. The teams reported to be linked to him. Seattle, the Dallas Cowboys made a strong push, although Adam Schefter says they're not the favorite. But Cowboys, Seahawks are two of the teams to keep an eye on, it looks like, for Cooper Kupp.
There was an original report that he wanted to stay on the West Coast.
Well, Seattle.
So Seattle, new quarterback, Sam Darnold, actually feels like a pretty good fit. Scheme-wise, I could see why that would be a fit, although $12 to $14 million a year.
Too much for a guy that's just, look, he's had a great career. I mean, we all know what he did a couple years ago. It's just, he's not the same player. He's just not.
I'm not sure about that. Next up on What's Trending, the KC current season opener is tomorrow at 11:45 against Portland. Alex Gold will be in attendance. Well, I'm sure other people will be as well. It'll be
about
a sold-out crowd
other
on
people
there.
Too.
KC Current obviously coming off of their semifinal effort last season in the NWSL. Try to make it even deeper this year. Really still bummed. All the way to the semifinals. The championship was in your city. They were so close, Gold, to like getting to have this kind of like magical first season at the stadium. It's still obviously awesome to be there. Be a little chillier tomorrow as the rain starts to kick in.
Yeah, but no, I'm looking forward, man. The current games are a lot of fun. Last on What's Trending, I think Drew's probably locked into this more than I am, but the Players' Championship is taking place currently. Round 2 action.
I got it on the TV in here.
Minwoo Lee tied for the lead, and I'll be honest, I don't know how to pronounce this last.
Akshay Bhatia.
Thank you. He is tied for first as well.
Isn't Minwoo Lee like super young? He's like a young.
Him and Bhatia are both young.
Minwoo Lee is 26. Bhatia is 23 years old. Elsewhere in the leaderboard, just some notable names. Rory is tied for third. Looks like
he's just struck back,
at 10 under for overall for the tournament, I should say. Other than that, Scotty Scheffler, who is always a name to keep an eye on, he is currently tied for 15th. 5 under for the tournament. Players' Championship.
Did you see, I guess that's what's trending here on Cody Gold. Did you see like one of the big controversies that was taking place down there?
No. Nobody got arrested again, did they?
No, but Rory was dealing with this
the heckler. Yes.
And he is, it turns out, so like Rory took his phone, there's this whole thing down at the Players. Did you see, Drew? It turns out this heckler is a golfer at the University of Texas. You idiot.
Big deal.
Yeah.
You idiot.
Yeah, why are
you that? Like, if it's just me, idiot radio host from Kansas City, so what? People find out I'm a radio host, but nothing changes. Golf is a very small community. You're a D1 golfer at Texas, and you decided, what if I try to make fun of Rory on the golf course at the Players? That's just a no-win situation.
Very disrespectful.
Dumb.
Yeah, the golfer at Texas has since apologized because of the backlash from all of this as well. But this is not just like, as you said, some random person or a random golfer even. Luke Potter, he's actually like a really star golfer at Texas as well. Video of the incident went on social media. It was a practice round. It wasn't during a actual round of golf. It was a practice round ahead of the Players' Championship. And golf.com also reporting that this golfer from Texas, Potter, was later escorted off the course. His phone did get returned to him because the video shows Rory just says, "Hey man, can I see your phone?" And he grabs it and just walks away. Just walks away. He gets the phone back. A day before this happened, this kid at Texas earned his first NCAA individual victory.
Yeah.
And all this like, dude, you got a bright future.
I guess-
What do you, not that he's like facing, but
Pick
like,
what
just,
you want to do.
I think sometimes I get like a little annoyed at the idea that I can just paint a broad brush and be like, his quote was, quote, look, I made a mistake and I take ownership for it. No, this is a personality trait. Harassing golfers on the golf course is not an oopsie, I made a mistake. You're just a jerk. You're probably a jerk all the time. You should change your personality. I don't think you just make a mistake and like demean people. Gold, you've made it your entire life. You don't just actively demean people for no reason. Like this kid, I mean, God, he is going to wear it for a little bit, but
I think it'll blow over eventually.
Yeah,
though. Like
people-
this kid's life shouldn't be ruined because he heckled a golfer at a golf tournament, though. Either like there's a balance here for me where it's like you're being a jerk. Why you out of all people should know like the quote unquote golf etiquette and all that.
Yeah.
But I don't think like this golfer at Texas, his life should be ruined because of this and act like he committed a serious crime. I mean, it's very
like,
dumb, grow up kind of thing.
Yeah, his coach was like, he had no idea the things coming out of his mouth were going to result in that fashion.
Oh, dude.
Well, when you say stupid things might happen. Like,
yeah.
Well, he didn't know if he'd said all those mean
It makes it
things
look
that
a
something
whole lot
bad
worse
might
the
happen.
fact that he is a star college
sure.
golfer and
Yeah.
he's the one. Like if you heckle somebody, fine, it's whatever. The guy got kicked off the course.
Yeah,
but
it's
as
not
soon
the
as you
first
find out,
time a
wait,
golfer's
you-
been heckled. Yeah.
It's like, wait, you golf as well? Like you're a star golfer and you're acting this way? Come on, man.
Yeah, part of it is like just have some respect for the people who might be like when you put up a bogey
Who you
on
might
13
play with here eventually or play against.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you had a bogey on 13, how would you like it if someone was just there like destroying you for no reason, right? Like
How
it's
about Rory just going over the hole and
took his phone? That was amazing.
Just grabbing the phone
Amazing.
though,
I
because
did think that was rich.
That's also something that you can't do in a normal setting. Like someone annoying me at a bar, I can't just go up to them and grab their phone, Cody, and just walk away with it. That's going to cause a major problem.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have a fight at the bar if I go and do that to somebody. Like, man, you're being annoying, Cody. I'm grabbing your phone and just walk away. I also can't do that in a normal setting.
No, not in a normal. Not a normal.
Anyway, let's talk some college basketball. I want to start with the Missouri Tigers, actually, because they're the only local team still playing until Selection Sunday. The Missouri Tigers, I think, created a situation that's great for them now because you avoid losing 4 in a row for starters if you would have lost to Mississippi State. And now you're playing with house money. You're playing Florida, who might be the best team in the country. They're the 2 seed in the SEC tournament. You did beat them earlier when they were playing a lot different basketball. But you can only help your seeding. Like, you get this, you all of a sudden would get to what? That'd be the semifinals, I guess, with a win tonight. And then there's another big-time opponent, of course, waiting at that point. You can only help yourself. Now, you're not going to get penalized for losing to Florida. This is truly house money. Get some more confidence because the last week and a half, 2 weeks has not been great for you.
They got less than 15 total points, I think, from Mitchell and Grill last night, which is really impressive that they won that game knowing that Mitchell was out for the entire second half. The last time they faced Florida, they got 37 points from those two. If you're curious how they're going to have to get past them, more than even that, Gold, if they beat Florida today, it kind of erases the way I felt about them while they were struggling. You're still a team who can beat the top teams in the country, and you can do it at an important time. I'll walk away from the 3 straight losses. I'll walk away from the what the hell happened, you're not playing defense. If you go out and beat Florida, okay, time to start talking Sweet 16, Elite 8 stuff again. Take you serious again. Not a guarantee or anything. They're going to be a 5 seed probably if they beat Florida. But to at least consider them a serious threat again, because when they went through that stretch and couldn't stop anybody, I thought, I was impressed last night. They were able to win without Mitchell. That really did stand out. But it is absolutely like you have nothing to lose. Florida has a little bit to lose. They're not going to fall worse than a 2 seed. They're likely a 1 seed, right? They're not going to fall any worse than that. But, like they got a little more to lose because like people think they're one of the best teams in the country. They shouldn't be losing to Missouri in the SEC tournament kind of thing. Missouri, if they win, everyone's going to be thinking way
and they're big underdogs
way
tonight.
higher. Yeah, 8.5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not quote unquote expected to win tonight. None of that matters for the players in the locker room or anything. But this would be a big upset if they can get it done. 6:00 tonight in Nashville, which has also been a pretty cool environment to watch down there. For their tournament. Other than the Big 12 tournament, the SEC tournament in Nashville, the most successful in terms of attendance and environments and everything. I'm a little worried about the environment tonight at the Big 12 tournament, though, because now that Kansas and K-State and Iowa State are it's not good for the city, unfortunately. That this weekend, hotels and bars and things like that, you're down to Houston, BYU, Texas Tech, and Arizona. And Arizona fans, I think, have the most fans still remaining.
You said it was a pretty good crowd last night when you were in Power and Light?
Yeah, I felt like it was easily way more Arizona fans other than Iowa State fans that have been part of the visiting group.
Okay.
And, of course, Iowa State is now done. Talking about Kansas, Arizona's still around because they took care of Kansas last night. It was a lot of the same stuff we've seen time and time again. They dug themselves a hole. They, to their credit,
fought back. Zeke Mayo played great.
Like max effort there. It wasn't like it wasn't an effort problem or anything like that. Zeke Mayo delivered in Kansas City both games they played in, and he was really good last night. But they make too many mistakes in crunch time. It finally got to 4-minute mark, 5-minute mark, and they started making the same mistakes. They also lost, I think, some of their legs. Lost some legs.
Terrible too.
Late where they were gassed. Hunter Dickinson was really, really bad last night. And I understand you're like, how can he be really bad if he's getting double doubles? You're 7'2" and 5 feet from the rim. He makes it look really challenging at times, not to mention the defensive liability. And he acknowledged, and to his credit, he owned it. After the game, he said, look, if we're going to go on a run, I'm paraphrasing, if we're going to go on a run, I have to be better. I have to play great. And that's true. Right. If they're going to win a game or two, if you think that's possible next week, wherever they end up playing, whoever they end up playing against next Thursday or Friday, yeah, he has to play great. That's just where they're at as a basketball team. They need more than him, though. They need guys like Zeke. They need Zeke Mayo to keep playing the way he played in the tournament. Yeah. Like he showed up in big time spots. He was their best player last night. And they have DeJuan Harris has to play just way better. Is
he just not good? Like, I'm just be honest. Is he just not like?
Well, he's regressed as a guard.
I would say,
some of the decision making, he still has his moments. I mean, there was definitely still some very nice plays defensively from him, but the offense is still very stagnant. Their perimeter defense, once again, was horrendous to begin the game against Arizona. So, like, last night's game, if you've watched any KU basketball this year, you're like, okay, yeah, that looked very similar. The only thing that's changed in the last 3 weeks, or 2 weeks, I should say, is we're not questioning the effort anymore. Remember, that was the thing for like, hey, where's the effort? Where's give a rip? Yeah, do you give a rip? I actually think that's not a problem. The effort is there. They're just the issues that this team has had all year, right? They're a flawed basketball team with
limited talent,
without a true score. Even though Zeke, the last 2 games, has shown glimpses of that, but he's going to have to do it. We'll find out. They got to wait till Selection Sunday. But yeah, the Big 12 tournament is a bummer for KC. The games have been entertaining, but if you were hoping for a lively P&L tonight, other than the weather getting worse as the night goes on,
that doesn't help either.
BYU, Arizona, Texas Tech, Houston, not really the draws you were hoping.
Couldn't get Kansas, couldn't get Iowa State, huh?
No.
Just couldn't get either of those teams to stick through the weekend. K-State would have worked too. They were just a bigger long shot, obviously, to stay through the weekend as the way it's set up. But yeah, I look at the Big 12 stuff, and overall, it's been a really, really super competitive tournament, which is good. Kansas is just like, they're exactly who they are. Like, they're not even like ooh, let me unwrap the mystery. And what if Kansas is exactly who they are and have been for the better part of 2 months. They have enough talent that every once in a while, when everyone plays great all together, they legitimately can beat almost any team.
I mean, they just beat the Arizona team on Saturday, and then they turn around, they lose 5 days later.
They can beat legitimately or hang with almost any team in the country. Not all, but almost any team in the country. But most of the time, they look good for like 5 minutes of game time, and then don't look just like average for the other 5 minutes. They look bad. They're just hot or cold. They let everyone catch up or get way behind, or they're just shooting the lights out of the building and playing great, and the ball's moving and it's free-flowing, or they're just like laying on the ground trying to pick up loose balls. It's like they look the same to me in every game I've watched them for the last 2 months, probably, give or take. Missouri's the more interesting team, obviously, from the SEC tournament perspective, but again, they're pretty heavy underdogs. I guess, who's the favorite now? Is Houston still the favorite to win the Big 12 tournament, I guess? Because they were the number 1 seed going into it?
I would think so. We talked a lot. It seems like Texas Tech had the easiest path to get there, and it's proving kind of to be that way.
That was a battle last night.
They got Arizona. Yeah, it ended up being interesting. Like, Baylor let them off the hook, I would actually say, the way that thing went. Texas Tech couldn't buy a bucket fairly late in that game. Updated odds for the Big 12 tournament over at FanDuel. Right now for today's game individually, by the way, Houston 6.5-point favorite against BYU, and then Texas Tech a 2.5-point favorite against Arizona. So you won't be surprised when I tell you Houston's -135 to win the Big 12 tournament, Texas Tech +280, Arizona 5.5 to 1, and then BYU 6 to 1. And BYU just shot the ball ridiculous yesterday against Iowa State. As for Missouri in the SEC tournament, the odds look like they're off the board right now to win the whole tournament, but Missouri is a 8.5-point dog tonight. And I believe if they win, I think I have my bracket right, I believe they would play the winner of Kentucky-Alabama.
I mean, they just played Kentucky.
Yeah,
and
lost. Yeah.
And lost. Beat Alabama earlier in the year. So, I mean, again, but they didn't get their ass kicked by Kentucky either. But
Ole Miss and Auburn just tipped off from Nashville. That's the first game of the day for the SEC tournament. Number 1 seed Auburn Currently trailing. It's early, 11-9 against Ole Miss.
Keep an eye out on it. We'll let you know our Big 12 tournament coverage is brought to you on 96.5 The Fan. Is brought to you by KRT Muscle Cream. A body in motion stays in motion with KRT Muscle Cream. We were talking earlier about baseball. I'd love to get back into it because our guy Vinny Pasquantino, who joined Vern last night on the Hot Stove Show, full 30-minute conversation with Vinny. So if you want to hear from him, go back and listen on the podcast page at 965thefan.com. He actually gave our show a little shout out. How about that? He said he said he was thankful that he got to come on during the offseason and talk football with us.
Nice. Yeah, we obviously enjoy having him on the show.
We love our NFL insider. So thanks, Vinny, for the mini shout out last night. But Vern keeps bringing him up as in a player that the rest of baseball is underrating what their ability to do this season is. And I was just trying to ask the question, how many homers, how many RBIs? What is our expectation for Vinny Pasquantino this year? I think he's going to hit 265. I think he's going to hit 25 homers. And I think he's going to be a 100 to 110 RBI guy. I expect Vinny Pasquantino to stay healthy. Not because I just like him. That doesn't hurt, probably. But the things that were keeping him out of early major league games, that got solved via surgery. And I view last year as a freak injury, and I don't think a freak injury is going to happen to the poor guy twice. And so I expect Vinny Pasquantino, who did play 130 games last year. Let's not make Injury Pro make it seem like he was in 60.
Sure.
He played 130 games last year and was healthy a huge chunk of that. I'm expecting 140 to 150, 60 games from Vinny this
So
year.
the year before, he only did play in 61. That was the shoulder surgery that was required, and hopefully that is behind him. Look, for him, for his future, for his career, for the possibility of getting the contract that eventually you want, all that kind of stuff, he has to stay healthy. That's still the biggest question mark, honestly, around him. And I agree with you that it was more of a fluky thing last year. But still, he's acknowledged it with us, even when he has joined us on the show in the offseason. Like, hey, there's a little injury history there.
Yeah, he mentioned
and
himself.
so, you got to make it through healthy. And get to 140-plus games, 150-plus games for this team, depending on, 150 necessarily because of the lineup. You get my point. 140-plus, I think it's fair to say, games this year for Vinny. If he does that, I don't think saying 30-plus home runs is out of the question. If he's playing, again, that requires him being healthy. I don't think that's nuts. You said the home run mark last year was only at 19, and that was in 131 games.
So he's probably like a 22, 23 pace.
Yeah, I don't think it's crazy to think someone of his caliber and where he's at in the lineup, too, and who's in front of him in the lineup, especially now with what looks like a legit leadoff hitter, a couple spots in front of him, not to mention the way teams will approach attacking Bobby Witt Jr. I don't think it's insane if he's healthy to say, you know what? Push 30. And we looked up the odds. He's plus 230 to hit more than 30 or 30 or more home runs. It's not like a crazy, asking for him to hit a ridiculously a large amount of home runs. For somebody that bats third, I don't think it's insane to think. And I understand you want the average and everything as well. And you don't want to take the strikeouts up just so you can hit some home runs. But I think if he all of a sudden, the next step for him is stay healthy and he pushed 30 home runs.
I'd like him to get on base more. I think the single biggest thing that logical improvement for his game, there's no reason why it shouldn't be better, is on base. He has a really good eye. I think he's decent at avoiding the strikeouts. He's a good contact hitter. He doesn't chase a ton. If that's the case, I feel like he should be able to walk more. And with more lineup protection with India and Bobby and all these other guys, I think they're going to challenge him a little bit. But they're also not going to want to get burned by Vinny either because Salvi's going to be there right behind him looming. And a lot of times they might not give him something to hit because Salvi is more likely to chase, strike out, leave a guy stranded than he is before. I like that he has a good sense of humor about it because I've seen the videos and be like, you think I like, because they're doing questions from fans and it was like, are you going to work on not grounding at a second? He's like, do you think I like that? Do you think I like suffering a slow death? Running down the base, it doesn't matter how fast. I could run as hard as you want and I'd be out. He's like, do you think I like grounding out to second? Nobody likes it. I just don't think anybody feels the pressure on the injury stuff more than him. All the numbers we're talking about, none of them are crazy if he's healthy.
No, 110.
The RBI, I think the average, all of it, if he just stays on the field.
It would not be insane to think that he could have a 110 RBI season, even 30 home runs with that, and play. And you said 265. I know some people say they need their number 3 hitter to hit 270. I understand. I think, there's 265 would be as low as you would want from your number 3 hitter. But I believe the spot in the order now with Jonathan India leading off and Bobby right in front of him, that also should help this a little bit in terms of the pitches he's going to see. And also, this also is Salvador Perez still hitting at the same level behind him?
Yeah. And look, I don't want to the batting average thing. That's why on base is more important for me, how often you're around. And I'm pretty sure that they value that more too. That goes back to the whole thing for why I think they went after a guy like Jonathan India is largely because of his ability to get on base. The average, just the major league, you're one out of every 6 players in Major League Baseball. Average batting average is 243. But he's also 312 is the on base percentage average, and that's pretty much where he is. And so I do think that there's real improvement there. For a 3-hitter, is it probably a little higher? Sure, Gold. But I told you earlier, there were 6 players in all of baseball who hit over 300. So you do have to change your mind on that. Do I think he should hit with a higher average than Salvi most years? Yeah, probably. Salvi hit 271 last year. Vinny hit 264. He got off to a slow start. Part of it is the end of the year average doesn't matter as much to me as what you're doing in crunch time. And I'm just, looking forward to hopefully a full healthy season for Vinny.
All right, coming up next, one-star pitcher in baseball, someone that's had a Hall of Fame career, has some radical changes maybe he wants to make to the sport. We'll run them by you. Plus, Josh Vernier is expected to call back in from Arizona right here on Cody and Gold.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Follow the station on Instagram for ticket giveaways and behind-the-scenes content from the show at The Fan 965.
Grab your phone and your dancing shoes. It's time to make those entries for March college basketball over with Underdog. You can do it on the Missouri side. So if you're heading down to watch some basketball tonight, you can make those selections every day now during this time, conference tournament time, and during March for the rest of the college basketball games coming up. Do you want to win up to 1,000 times your money? You can over at Underdog. You're simply just going to choose which player will go higher or lower than one of those stats. Look, I led you astray yesterday. I thought Mark Mitchell was going to go higher than his points, assists, and rebounds total. But yeah, he got hurt. So sometimes we got to play it that way. But all your favorite leagues, teams, and stars to choose from, I'm going to make some Missouri selections again tonight. So when we watch those Tigers at 6 o'clock, you can do it. And again, you can do it all from the Missouri side. So when you're thinking about March basketball, think about Underdog. Download the Underdog app today and sign up using that promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to unlock a special offer for up to $1,000 in bonus credits when you make your first deposit. Sign up with that promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, and claim your special offer today. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Men, this is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And though I generally talk about medicine and effective treatments for erectile dysfunction and other men's sexual health issues, today I want to talk about love. Because love is the best reason to get treated for your ED. You see, ED can cause major relationship issues. In fact, men often push their partners away when ED becomes a problem. The condition can cause depression, arguments, breakups, and even contribute to divorce. But the good news is that if you're like most men suffering with ED, you can be successfully treated at Heartland Men's Health and put a stop to the relationship stresses that ED can cause. I say this with all confidence because we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Surely, it's likely you'll find you're performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and get the love back in your life. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, and it's time to make a big deal out of nothing. Announcing Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event. 0, like in 0% financing. 0 is back. Up to 0% financing on select 2024 and 2025 Subaru models for 72 months. And we're 2024 Google's highest review rated and only locally owned Subaru retailer in Kansas City. 0% event. The Subaru A Lot to Love event at Lee Summit Subaru.
Google highest review rated Subaru retailer in Kansas City based on Google Analytics.
Hey, it's Dick Ray. Why do they call us the heating, AC, and plumbing magician? We show up on time, diagnose and fix the problem quickly without breaking the bank. And now we have our own madness going on in March with our Dick Ray BOGO deal. Schedule a $99 AC tune-up by March 31st and receive your furnace tune-up next fall for free. Come on, sing it with me.
Call Dick Ray, he's your cooling magician. Dick Ray is a man on a mission.
Don't settle for just a roofer. When your entire home or business gets hit by a storm, get an experienced restoration team. Get Pat Construction Services. Visit PatKC.com. That's PACTKC.com.
Coming to Kansas City, the NAIA Men's College Basketball Championship. 16 teams, 15 games, 6 days, 1 national champion. The NAIA Men's College Basketball Championship at Municipal Auditorium, March 20th to 25th. Get your tickets now at NAIAHoops.com.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business.
You bet, and we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place...
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
Landscaping business?
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer-dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf, Tiger, Rory, and more. The best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Money-back guarantees and parts and labor warranties mean you're not just buying products, you're securing your investment. For a limited time, receive a free furnace when you purchase an AC. Schedule a complimentary proposal online at AnthonyPHCE.com.
Opening day coverage is brought to you by Hollywood Casino. Stop by Hollywood Casino every Wednesday in March from 12 until 2 to register for your chance to win opening day tickets. Your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Basketball madness comes to KC for the NAIA Men's College Basketball Championship, March 20th through the 25th at Municipal Auditorium. 16 teams, 15 games, 1 national champion. Bring the family for nonstop action and affordable tickets. Get yours today at NAIAHoops.com. We're expected to have Vern join us, although Alex Gordon's press conference to officially announce that he's being inducted to the Royals Hall of Fame is going on, so Vern's, of course, busy covering that for us. So there's a chance he could get pushed back today or maybe doesn't have some time to join us, but we'll keep an eye on that. But congrats once again to Alex Gordon, who in June will have his retirement ceremony, or induction ceremony, out at Kauffman Stadium. And it's going to be a busy summer out there, not just for hopefully a Royals team competing for the AL Central, but 10-year anniversary from the world champion 2015 team. Moose, retirement ceremony, Alex Gordon induction ceremony. There's just a lot of stuff going on that are kind of cool. I know they always have promotions, but this year from a historical aspect and some pieces to this franchise's history all being recognized, it's going to be a great year to go out to Kauffman Stadium. And obviously we're less than 2 weeks away from opening day, and we'll be out there quite a bit throughout the season. I know on opening day we'll be broadcasting live outside of Gate D. Hope to see you guys out there.
We should see if Gordon will pop by for a little bit if he's going to be there on opening day. Maybe
might be. I don't know if he will, but yeah.
We'll reach out, see if maybe he wants to come by on opening day. I'm sure he's excited for this season. Anytime we get the Royals back in the playoffs, opening day's got a different buzz.
Sure.
It just does.
All the bunting around, Cody. You love the bunting.
I do. I am very much for bunting. I was glad JJ backed me up.
That was
baseball
funny.
guys.
That was hilarious.
Baseball guys know.
That was
They
hilarious.
know
2
about
years
bunting.
ago? Was that 2 years ago, maybe?
Something like that. Drinking Borgs, talking about bunting.
I know you give me a hard time for looking at the weather forecast way in advance and everything, but we've both been looking for opening day.
It's a little early because it's 2 weeks from yesterday, so only 13 days left.
Right now, knock on wood, 67, partly cloudy, 17% chance of rain. That would be an incredible opening day if it was 67 degrees.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have taken the weather yesterday too, but I'm not going to get greedy. Get greedy.
Yeah. Yesterday was one of those days I kind of wish I had like an outdoor sporting event. Like I wish I had a baseball game to attend in some way.
Yeah.
I didn't, but we'll get our chance soon enough. Day games are coming, man.
Thinking of baseball, Max Scherzer, one of the great pitchers in baseball history, is always coming up with ideas.
Guy. Maybe he's watching the game tonight.
He is an MU guy. That's true. Maybe he is. That's very true. He was speaking to Sports Illustrated, and he had a few radical changes. Some of them make a lot of sense. Some are others for the sport. There's a couple, and I want to see if you guys are in on these ideas. He says, first of all, you should penalize teams in baseball if you pull your starting pitcher early and then make qualifications for being pulled, right? So did you complete 6 innings? Did you throw 100 pitches yet? Did you allow 4 runs or more? Yeah, they don't want you getting pulled 3 2/3 of an inning into the game. You've given up 2 runs and you're at 55 pitches, but you just don't have it, or you just, whatever. No, not that's not what he believes the sport should allow anymore. And some of it has to do with the injury risk. We're getting into all of that too. And how do you balance the entertainment factor by forcing, frankly, pitchers struggling to stay in the game, but also, hey, look, if someone doesn't have it, and you want to push everybody to 100 pitches, that's the tricky part with this.
I think I understand, like, there is a problem, and I think baseball's been looking at this, which is they got a starting pitching problem. From an injury perspective, for one, which we've talked about oftentimes is studied as an increase in velocity, eventually causing these injuries to happen. But there are people who believe that some of it is you had them stop pitching less, and as a result of that, their arms are less equipped for it. As in, if you left these pitchers in or figured out how to get outs and all this. The single biggest bright side of this, which is interesting for Scherzer, is this will make him look better. It'll make the bad pitchers look worse, and it will increase offense in the game. Because if you force these guys to go out there when they're at 87 pitches through 5 innings, and they're getting ready to go a third time through the middle part of the order, which every single study analytically will tell you is a horrible idea unless you're a pitcher as good as Max Scherzer or Shohei Ohtani. Like, unless you're one of the best pitchers in baseball, it's a bad idea. Well, those guys are much more likely to get rocked. More runs, more innings, more stuff across the board. It's probably not going to fundamentally change that much more that they're in the game because you're getting rocked. Vin Mazzaro wasn't going to have to wait through. He could have been gone in the first inning. He didn't get to 100 pitches, but he sure as hell got to 4 runs allowed.
He also said that once qualified, the designated hitter gets to be in for the rest of the game.
I do like that. The DH rules are weird. We treat it like it's a regular position. Mm-hmm. It's across both leagues now, but you can't move it around. I can't bring somebody into DH. If they're a DH, I can't put them in the field, right? Like I can't just I can't have Vinny at DH, and then later in the game, as I'm trying to get better defensively, put him at first base and pull the other, you don't let me move DH like the other positions. I actually think that's kind of stupid. Now that it's a universal thing in baseball that everybody has it.
Yeah, qualified. I don't know what the qualification would you have to have 2 at-bats already or something? I don't know, right? Maybe that's the rule. And then he said maybe there's a free substitution where you can, now this is the pretty radical.
This is the crazy one.
Maybe there's a free substitution where you can pinch hit or pinch run for somebody if you want to. This is getting too close to that crazy golden at-bat idea that was out there for a little bit, which basically would allow you, if you wanted Bobby Wood Jr., who's batting second, but you also wanted to allow him to hit 8th later on at any time during a game, you could do that too. That's crazy stuff.
allowing
just
this,
one
I
time
mean,
choosing it. You just choose it every time the bases are loaded.
as you gave the example earlier, like if you could do this, you get a free substitution. Well, then Blanco, he'd be way more valuable than he already is.
If I don't have to leave him in the game to hit, well, then everybody would have a speed demon on their team. Just some track star who they teach to steal bases.
Yep.
You get to the 7th or 8th inning, and I get a free guy at first base in a tight game. Okay. I don't like the idea because the last one was like punishing teams, like maybe getting rid of the free runner at second if you pull your pitcher early.
Yeah.
Because it's like the rules are if you pull them, and here's the truth. You can put all these rules any place you want. You know what's going to happen? Because you're going to have to make these rules unless for injury. So every guy who comes off the mound goal is going to be taught to do this. Ooh.
Yeah, you run into a little bit of a problem.
Man,
maybe.
guys, elbow. I'm getting hit pretty hard here. You could probably imagine the back. It's tight. You just get guys who are going to fake injuries. And, like, not because they shouldn't. That's a advantage to
That only
game
works
the
so
system.
much, though, because, like, if every outing you're doing that, I mean, in big spots, though, in big series, yes. I don't think you would see it happen every start for someone. But, yes, it would be something that would come up, no doubt.
I just think the game changed. I think legitimately, this sounds like the dumbest cop-out of all time. What baseball has to do to solve their starting pitching problem is, one, continue to study, like, the effects of velocity and all this stuff. So unless they're going to make wholesale changes to the minor league system and velocity in high school and youth baseball and all that stuff, which I think is far too big of a scope to deal with it, they're going to have to wait for evolution to win out until these bodies are ready to throw 100 miles an hour for 200 innings again. You're just going to have to wait because, sad to say, the game has changed. The bodies can't handle the velocity these guys have to throw. They have to throw at that velocity to get noticed. So unless you're going to be like, no one's allowed to throw 95 anymore, it's a ball. If it's above 95, well, then it's just not going to be the case.
I mean, the sport has been
too
trending, so the number of 100 pitch games has decreased 70% in the past 10 full seasons. 6 inning starts are down 36%, and starts with 4 runs allowed have gone down 10%. That's just the reality of where the sport is at. And then in the postseason, it's even worse, right? Because because the inventory of postseason games over the past 10 years, the annual percentage of postseason games with at least 6 innings or 100 pitches, and there's a chart they use. Like last postseason, only 3 times in 86 starts did a pitcher throw 100 pitches in the postseason.
Can't say I understand it. A little breaking news here for the Chiefs from Adam Schefter and Jeremy Fowler over on Twitter. Free agent running back Kareem Hunt is signing back with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Why?
Hunt gave them 728 yards and 7 touchdowns last season. I got to say.
Why?
I don't get it.
He doesn't have the explosiveness anymore.
Why did you sign Elijah Mitchell? Was he just like a safety net of safety nets?
My thing
Are you
is,
not drafting a running back? Oh, God. Please tell me you're not drafting a running back in what is declared the greatest running back draft of the last decade. Please tell me it's not going to be that. They've re-signed Kareem Hunt.
Look, I appreciate what Kareem Hunt did last year.
I did too. And a lot of people did want him back, I think, because of that.
He saved them, frankly, because of the Pacheco injury, and he was vital for them during the year. He's not explosive, though. And he comes back on a deal worth up to $2.5 million. It's a nothing dollar amount. But the running back room now is Kareem Hunt, Isaiah Pacheco, Elijah Mitchell, and Carson Steele. You're not any more explosive at running back. You're just not any more explosive right now. That's what I don't really get. I'm a little surprised by this. Last year, I know you'll say, well, guys, he had great numbers. 728 yards, 7 touchdowns. Why wouldn't you want that guy back? You need more explosiveness, and Isaiah Pacheco's not going anywhere unless there's something surprising.
Can do that.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by this. I thought they could, for less of a cost, they could spend a 4th-round pick. I guess they still can, but at some point, the dollar amount you're talking about, you're not cutting Kareem Hunt now. Not if he's making a deal.
Is your plan never to keep Isaiah or like Elijah Mitchell, and you're just thinking, we can cut bait with him at any time. We just in case he's good, we wanted to have a chance to take a
Kareem
look.
Hunt is 1.5 million base. Elijah Mitchell was 2 million base or 1.5 billion base as well, right around the same criteria. So if you cut one of them, I guess you're fine with eating the money if it's a bad camp for them. If you're Carson Steele, you should practice squad again, right? That's where you're headed.
Yeah, Carson Steele. Yeah,
all the talk,
practice
and all that.
squad,
You come
or
the football.
He ends up on some other team, and look, he would have had a better chance to continue to play had he held on to the football. To your previous point, but am I offended by a $2 million contract? No, it's whatever, right? It's not like enough money to be like, I'm going to be up in arms about this and lose my mind. I will, however, be offended by that. If this prevents them from drafting a running back because, like, we're all good now, that's when I'm going to have an issue. If this stops you from making the move I think you need to make.
Correct.
Isaiah Pacheco does not have that much time left maybe in your university. Are you sure that this is what you want to do?
Pacheco, Hunt, Mitchell, Steele.
Okay, that's fine. Again, it kind of feels like maybe they just never thought.
Sometimes you don't need Hunt
healthy.
to be the main guy. I'm with you, but at some point, they're not having a 3 running back room. I mean, there's not enough. The Chiefs don't run the ball enough for Hunt, Pacheco, and for Elijah Mitchell. All to make. Someone will get the bulk of the carries. Maybe that's Pacheco, and then you're back to Kareem Hunt. Is Kareem Hunt's the. Pacheco's the short yardage guy. Kareem Hunt gets the bulk of the carries. He was getting worn down. These are 2 backs that probably can't make it through a full 17-game season as the guy. I don't know.
Just as long as this does not mean they won't draft a running back, I'm okay. Like that's it. That's really my. That's my.
All right.
That's
So
my
they
only
draft a
hang-up.
running back, and then they end up cutting Elijah Mitchell at camp,
And Steele?
or Steele goes to the practice
Steele just
squad.
goes to the practice squad
Yeah.
or whatever.
So
they
then
kept
it's
4 running backs last year of note, just as a reminder.
They did.
And Elijah Mitchell, I mean, that's fine if he's your 4th running back. Obviously, I don't really care.
So the rookie will basically battle with Elijah Mitchell. Okay. Yeah.
The way that I saw it was Pacheco gets the main carries, and then you draft a running back, and then he and Elijah Mitchell kind of split carries as the second guy or the second most opportunity, and then eventually you're hoping one of them gets ahead, and then you've got your 1, 2, 3 trio.
But they would have 4 in that scenario. That's what we're saying. Is like I'm with you. Like if you just told me it was the rookie, Pacheco, and
Mitchell. But now that they've added Hunt, it throws a wrench in the whole drafting a running back thing, because they would have 5 guys at running back, and I know that you would have some plans going forward. But if they planned on drafting a running back, they didn't have to sign Kareem Hunt now.
Yeah,
they probably could have waited until June and brought him in.
It's a little surprising. We'll see. Like you said, it's not something to like completely freak out about. It's just if you wanted the running back room to improve, I think there's a chance that they're going to roll into the season with this running back room, and I don't like it going into the year.
It's fine. I mean, I'm not like upset. I just like it doesn't. I wouldn't. It doesn't make sense to me.
You're not going to get upset until they don't draft a running back, and then it's like, what's going on here?
Then I will be annoyed. Like because they need to get younger at that position, unless they're planning on signing Isaiah Pacheco to an extension, which would be crazy at running back most of the time. And look. I think people have undervalued what Pacheco is when healthy, and because they watched him get hurt, they're just like, well, he can't play anymore. That's not the case. I don't think that's the case.
Let him have a healthy offseason.
That's why I wanted the rookie. Pacheco, the lead back. Rookie, the spell. And here comes Elijah Mitchell to just catch a ball out of the backfield every once in a while. It seemed like a good fit, and now it feels like you're going to be like, well, we got to get Kareem Hunt the ball too. And then if they draft the rookie running back, what is their role in all of this? It feels like it's harder for them to get immersed in the offense and have an impact now. So it feels less likely they're going to draft him now if they're going to hold both Pacheco and Kareem Hunt.
How much would it cost to cut Isaiah Pacheco?
They're not cutting Pacheco. He's a rookie. He's a 7th-round rookie.
There's no reason.
It cost them $0 to cut him. I mean, practically, he's a 7th-round rookie.
I was curious.
Yeah, there's no reason to do that final year of his contract. There's just no reason.
I agree that I wouldn't do it. I'm just,
he's making $1.1 million. I mean, the dead cap is $19,000.
He's making less money than Kareem Hunt is.
Correct. Oh well, yeah. I mean, Kareem Hunt's a veteran. Yeah, I just
and Elijah Mitchell as well, technically.
I would have been fine if you tell me Pacheco is the lead back, the rookie is the number 2 back, and then Elijah Mitchell is
That's
whatever.
what you want, I think.
I'm
for
surprised
sure.
that it sounds like now, if the rookie's even involved, it's Pacheco, Hunt, rookie. That's what I don't like.
What is? I guess that's it. In a lot of ways, it's funny because, like, in a lot of ways, it doesn't even make sense to use the draft pick on a running back now. But I guess that comes back to the whole thing. This is supposed to be, if you need another running back, this is supposed to be the class, right, Drew?
Well, that and to your guys' point of how short the running back life is, not that you're taking away a potential season, but if let's say they draft Devin Neal in the 4th round. If they draft Devin Neal, I don't know how old Devin Neal is, but we know historically they don't get past their rookie deal. Are you wasting a year of Devin Neal essentially where if he gets some carries and
People
some,
do
and
that with
some
running
usage,
backs a lot, I'll say. But
are you taking away from what he could be for your offense by playing Kareem Hunt more?
If you're just joining us, the Chiefs reportedly have re-signed Kareem Hunt to a 1-year deal worth up to $2.5 million, base salary $1.5 million. That coming from Jordan Schultz. I know we're going to talk more about this when Joshua Brisco joins us in studio in the 1 o'clock hour for a Fan Club Friday. We'll get his perspective. It's just simple for me. The room is not explosive. And yes, Pacheco, when healthy, is effective. But even when he was healthy, and I like Isaiah Pacheco, he's not an explosive back. That's just not who he is. That's fine. I'm not saying that he's not useful for them, but he's not an explosive back. You know, when's the last time you had a feeling where a 10-yard run, you had a back that could turn it into a 35-yard run?
And Mitchell is reportedly that, but now he's even further down if they draft a guy, then he's like 4th on the depth chart. Maybe he's just a safety net, and they wanted to carry 4 guys again.
Yeah, someone says, Steele is gone. Well, yeah, Carson Steele, I don't even care about. I mean, he can be on the practice squad. That's not.
He was a fun story last year.
Yeah.
We get it.
He couldn't hold on to the football, and they signed a veteran over him, and he barely touched the football.
Does it matter that they were paying Elijah Mitchell more potential money than Kareem Hunt in terms of the overall safety net?
The incentives are more for Mitchell, I think. But yeah,
that also means he's cheaper to get rid of.
Sure.
The exact breakdown for Elijah Mitchell.
Because I was just wondering, based on what you said, Cody, if he's more of a safety net, why would you offer up a potential safety net more money?
Well, you just offered him more incentives to try to get him.
Right.
Probably didn't tell him you were signing Kareem Hunt.
So what did we say? The Kareem Hunt base salary is 1.5. Is that what we said? Base salary for Elijah Mitchell is 1.4. Signing bonus and some other stuff gets the cap hit up to 2.2. It's the almost identical base salary.
Yeah, they're paying him the same, which, I guess it means one could be gone if they draft a guy and he beats him out.
Yeah, because
if you're taking a 3rd or 4th round running back, they're definitely making the roster.
If you were to cut, in the grand scheme of things, it's a small dollar amount, but if you're tied up against the cap, this could matter. If you cut Elijah Mitchell, it's a $1.1 million dead cap hit.
Any chance, and I'm not saying that this is definitively the case as we kind of talk this thing out. Any chance that this is, we talk all the time about, the moves that Tobe helps make or Andy helps Brett Mevage. This is a Mahomes move? That Patrick Mahomes wants Kareem Hunt back with this team. He's a great locker room guy. They are really good friends. He wants him back in the organization with a chance with this team again to win a Super Bowl again, and that Mahomes is in any way a driver of, I want Kareem Hunt back. Why not make it happen? I'm just asking if there's any chance that
is there a chance?
He's
Sure.
kicking around the conversation. That's all.
Yeah, I guess there's a chance.
They shouldn't have added Elijah Mitchell then. They added Mitchell first. If Pat wanted Kareem Hunt back that bad enough to not force a move, but be influential in a move, they should have done that one first.
If they said, hey, our Kareem Hunt, we're re-signing him, and he's going to be our goal line short yardage back, then I'm fine with it. If that's what his role is going to be, he has better vision than anybody other
short
yardage.
Sure.
And then Pacheco gets the bulk of the carries, fine, but that still limits the issue we were talking about explosive back. And look, this is not what I'm saying at all. Text line says, you guys are making it sound like you're all expecting running backs to be like Saquon Barkley. Not at all. There are other explosive backs in the league than Saquon Barkley.
It'd be cool if they drafted Saquon Barkley. That would be the next
Saquon. I'm also interested in drafting the next Saquon Barkley. That would be nice. No, there are backs teams draft all the time that are just simply more explosive than what they have in the room. That is all
Cody's
we're
got
saying.
Chase Brown.
Anyway.
Yeah.
We'll get back to this, guys, 1 o'clock hour, because I want to talk about it with Brisco, too. Interesting. Did not expect that move today.
Cody, you're getting blamed here. From the 913, Cody's stealing my text without giving me credit.
I didn't even see your text. What'd your text say? Seriously, I didn't see your text. Let me go back. Let me see what I saw.
Is it Dusty that texted in? Or are we sure that's not Dusty?
Oh, I think they're just saying, like, we get texts all the time. People will text stuff that...
I see. He said, I bet this is Pat's move. Credit to you for thinking of it as well. I swear I didn't see it. But...
yeah.
Good thought.
Yeah.
I'm just curious whether or not we think that that's part of the play. I'm
just giving you a hard time because the whole Dusty thing.
Great thought from the night.
Interesting. This will mean the draft plan just will be something to follow a little bit more. That's all.
Are we sure? Are we sure that they might draft a running back, but are we sure they use one? If you were to say,
like they're going to get used now.
If they say 3rd round back was what we were thinking, but are they? Is this more like a 5th round thing or a 6th round thing, where it's you know what, Pacheco worked out in the 7th round, maybe we take one in the 5th or 6th if we like somebody. It seems like this is an excuse to not use one of those first 4 round picks, or you just wait until the 7th because they don't have a 5th or a 6th right now, right? Correct? They just have those 3 7ths.
Yeah, I got a lot of 7ths.
Someone says. On the text line. Doesn't matter anyway. They don't run the ball anyway. Who cares?
That's a good point.
Now they're going to sign Juszczyk or something, and we're going to have to really be like, what's going on here? Are we going back to the wing T here in Kansas City? What is the plan? It's fine. Again, I think I am infinitely more okay with this deal if it doesn't prevent them from signing or from drafting a running back. But it does feel like you're taking a third-round pick for a guy that you're having no intention to play at any point this year, which would be kind of weird. Because if you got Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, I don't know how many snaps are left for the third running back. Like just straight up. 2, 3, 4 a game, maybe. I mean,
they're not running the ball 35, 40 times, or should they? But that's not what they are. I mean, if this was Harbaugh, I would say, oh, it's the Chargers. They're going to run the ball a crap ton. Makes sense. They want to have all these other backs.
Baltimore Ravens, you want like 9 guys. Cool, I get it.
Kareem Hunt back with the Kansas City Chiefs. Up next, we're going to get to a Fan Club Friday. We'll talk more about this, I'm sure, with Josh Brisco. We'll go through the rest of the offseason. We'll have some fun heading into a busy college basketball weekend with Selection Sunday on the horizon as well.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we're improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com, and I look forward to working with you.
What's up, guys? This is Drew. Could you benefit a little extra in the bedroom? We all can. Your partner wants you to do whatever it takes to make your sex life better, and Blue Chew can help. Blue Chew is your secret weapon for wherever you decide to get it on. Maybe you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, or you're like my upstairs neighbors and you just want to take advantage of the time that you have. Whatever the case may be, turn oh no into oh yes with Blue Chew. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Plus, it ships right to your door in a discreet package. Their licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient and strength for your prescription. If you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, visit BlueChew.com. And if you want a great offer, free is what you can get. Go to BlueChew.com and get your first month free when you use our promo code KFNZ at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code KFNZ to receive your first month free. Then you'll be ready to chew it and do it.
A body in motion stays in motion until you feel that muscle tighten. KRT helps you get back in action with all natural pain relief in just minutes. Learn more at krtrelief.com.
I love saving money, and Hy-Vee is always helping my family fight inflation. Not only has Hy-Vee lowered prices all over the store, they also help me save a ton of money on gas. In fact, multiple times in the last few months, I've saved over $1 per gallon with Hy-Vee Fuel Savers. I love seeing the price on the pump drop dramatically each time I fill up. This Saturday and Sunday, save 30 cents per gallon on gas with every $60 you spend on groceries. Stack up the savings. The more you spend, the more you'll save on your next fill-up, only at Hy-Vee.
Hy-Vee's new fresh fried donuts are pure melt-in-your-mouth happiness with icing on top. Fresh out of the fryer every morning, you'll fall in love at first bite. Mix and match your favorite glazed donuts, donut holes, fritters, twists, cream-filled Long John, sprinkles, and gourmet delights. Pick up a dozen today. You'll be the hero of the morning meeting, queen of the book club, classroom parent of the year. Sweeten someone's day with decadent fresh fried donuts only from Hy-Vee.
Hey guys, I'm here with Paige, a new friend and the owner at Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Paige, after 10 years, what continues to inspire you?
It's so inspiring to hear people change their lives and to be a part of that every day. The more people who can transform their lives and feel better and be more confident and be happier and see that change come through in every aspect of their life, not just in their weight or how they look or the clothes that they wear, but in their career and in their family and how they inspire their kids. That's why we do this.
Thanks, Paige. Changing lives without medication, the gym or fasting. If you're ready to make a 180 with your health, do what I did and choose the solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss. Fast, proven weight loss, and keep it off thanks to that free support for life. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800. Or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Call Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. Our iconic blue trucks and expert team get it right the first time. Award-winning full-service lawn care and pest control since 1985. Call today for a free estimate. Visit aspenlawn.com.
Mom, I need to lay low for a few days.
Lay low? What's going on?
I only paid for this Hyundai Tucson.
Christopher Allen Lynch.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you want at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Right now, get 2.99% APR for 72 months on the Hyundai Santa Fe, Tucson, or Elantra. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
T-Mobile home internet is all about speed, value.
What you doing, Zach?
I'm rehearsing. There are so many benefits. You got to talk fast.
T-Mobile home internet ranks #1 in customer satisfaction for home wireless internet by J.D. Power.
Wow, you are good.
Try singing it. T-Mobile has price lock.
They won't raise your rate on internet.
Hulu and Paramount Plus on them.
Get T-Mobile home internet all in for just $55 a month with auto pay and any postpaid voice line.
Additional terms apply. For JD Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 16. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Go to 965thefan.com for the Fiery Hot Sevens contest, where you can win a $30 instant scratch ticket, and one person will win the grand prize, a Bobby Witt Jr. autographed jersey and framing, all thanks to our friends at the Kansas Lottery. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch all the shows from your phone, desktop, or tablet. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Oh, it's a Fan Club Friday, 1 o'clock hour here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. We got our good friend, our Chiefs contributor, Joshua Brisco, joining us in studio. We'll get to the Kareem Hunt stuff in just a second, but good to have you in studio, man. Cody's got a couple beverages ready for us.
Yeah, so we got to get Briscoe's opinion on a couple of things. Yeah. Desmond's love life.
All kinds of stuff.
We got a random question of the day.
Fantastic. I was glad to be driving in today, just given how you guys took the Kareem Hunt
I didn't take it great.
so-
I didn't take it great, admittedly.
You should have a drink first.
Guest always gets first choice, Brisco. I have Yingling Flight. It's like they're like,
very good. Very good.
They're
Glass
light beer.
bottle, too, which I haven't seen from them.
Longboard. They're like island lager. I got a couple of different cork flavors. Hazy IPA. Yeah, that's it. That's what I got.
Where are you going? I do love some quirk, but I want to try that longboard there.
Okay.
I think that's a new one for me.
Go.
Unless you really had your heart set on it. You said that in a disappointed way.
No, so
I can drink the quirk.
No, like our random question of the day, which we'll do here in a little bit, is brought to you by Awaken 180. The boys got to be low, gotta watch the. I don't want to just be drinking too many
Cody's
calories.
on a diet.
Okay, I see.
So I'm drinking straight whiskey. At 1 in the afternoon.
I would have gone there with you.
Well, then go ahead and pop the Yingling Flight, please. I'll go ahead and roll with that one. Yeah.
It was Sean. I'm drinking bourbon that Sean Barber brought in last week.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
It's
wow.
like just he said he wanted to help out the party before we went to Kelly's last week. He came out to Kelly's for a little bit. And he brought this stuff from, I think, Weston,
the
right?
Yingling Flight, Cody,
Ancient Cave Collection Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
So you would have been good with the Yingling Flight at 95 calories.
Oh, I'm sure it'd have been fine. I wanted to try this because Barbara brought it in. Smoked bourbon.
Should I have brought liquor? I have about 3 ounces of Fireball in the freezer.
We have plenty of
bottles. We had plenty of Fireball last Friday. Thank you.
Last Friday. All right. I helped you guys finish that off towards the end of the football season. I'm glad to hear that you re-upped.
So the people over at Sazerac, the event we did at Kelly's last week, because we got the bonuses from work, we had $1,000 or $1,100 bar tab. Sazerac does Fireball, so like part of it was like it was meant for Fireball. The night closed with a tray full of Fireball shots from everybody in the bar. So, Drew, you're welcome to come in here and grab something as well.
What
I know
corks do you have? You said.
All right, I always bring corks and stuff for Drew.
I handle
cherry blossom lime, strawberry lemon basil.
Cherry blossom lime. Let's take Brisco's suggestion. I'll be in there in a second.
I think that's the best quirk flavor. Rocket Pop's up there.
I'm a big fan of like the grape fizzy. Like I like the little. I like the soda shop ones.
Yeah, I don't know if I've had the grape fizzy one.
All right, so the Chiefs. They're bringing back Kareem Hunt, Brisco, 1-year deal, up to $2.5 million, $1.5 million base. You heard our discussion driving in. What was your reaction to the move, and I guess maybe to what we said as well?
The first reaction was I saw the first half of the tweet, and it said, like, free agent running back Kareem Hunt, and then it cut off. And my first thought was genuinely like, oh, good for him. Where's he visiting? Because I kind of expected that to be Kareem Hunt is visiting the Titans or whatever, and, hey, you get a chance to
stay in the NFL.
Stay in the NFL, kick another year off and all of that. When I saw it was the Chiefs, I was a little bit surprised. To your point, like, today, what was the rush to lock up Kareem Hunt? But on a 1-year deal where a lot of that money is like, we're getting pretty close to veteran minimum territory. I think it's thank you for your service last year, and also your floor is pretty high. His ceiling is at the floor, but his floor is pretty high.
Yeah, you can't do way worse than what you're getting out of him.
And I think it makes him a pretty good little tandem for free agent, maybe a little bit pricey for lottery tickets, but penny stocks, if you will. Him and Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell's floor is underground, and his ceiling is pretty high. So I think that's really what's happening there. Your guys' concern about, there needing to be some young, explosive youth in this running back room, I'm totally with you on. I will say I'm pretty sure the only running back under contract in 2026 is Carson Steele, who may not be under contract in 2025. Yeah. This changes, for me, and I really believe for the Chiefs, this changes nothing in terms of draft plans.
So you think they'll still draft? And if that's the case, I hope you're right. If that's the case, then obviously nobody should have too much of an issue, except, if you want to talk me into like, all right, Pacheco's going to be healthy. He comes back. He's the same dude as he was over a year ago. Then that's great news. Kareem Hunt's short yardage back, fine. But I'm not convinced that both guys can make it through a 17-game schedule being the only two involved. And so you're saying, okay, well, they got Elijah Mitchell. You can't. They have the 4 running backs on one team is fine, but they didn't have 4 active on game day. So
true.
You think that at training camp, Elijah Mitchell's $1.1 million dead cap. Kareem Hunt, I'm guessing, is about the same dollar amount. So what? They're just going to battle it out at camp, and if they'll eat the $1.1 million?
Can I say what my biggest issue with is that all of a sudden, and maybe the Chiefs won't do it this way. This is just how people talk about the Chiefs draft. If this turns into the draft of no one who plays, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
In the first round,
I don't think you're in danger of that.
In the first round, the Chiefs take an offensive tackle they don't plan on playing, and then in the third round, they take a running back they don't plan on playing. Let's just go ahead and make it a tight end in the second they don't plan on playing, and we'll have the draft of non-starters. Somebody should be drafted who is planning on playing minutes on the football field.
I think
it's like part of it, And I don't think they do the whole draft that way. But you get my point of like the concern of like everyone talking that way, the people
totally.
they think about. I don't want it to turn that direction.
I think there may be 2 rookie defensive starters out of this draft class. Thinking about where they need still are, and it's definitely the defensive line. I think the Jalen Moore signing prevents them from chasing an offensive tackle, which is a good thing, especially given the draft classes, especially given their history. And to your question, Gold, I think the Joker comes in, breaks one pool cue over his knee, throws it out, and says, all right, fellas, good luck. You need running backs in training camp just to get through it. And usually you'd rather have your UDFAs. Deneric Prince got a couple of camps to try to figure out where he fit in all of this. But the thing that I want to really remind everybody of is where this roster was at cutdowns last year. At roster cutdowns last year, this team had Isaiah Pacheco, who has gotten hurt at some point every year, violent position, not his fault. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's missed a lot of time, both physical and then the psychological that turns into physical and all of that. Totally valid, but the Chiefs know what his situation is. And then Carson Steele. We were talking about, LaMichael Pirine, Keontae Ingram in recent years. I think Kareem Hunt might be Ronald Jones, who they signed. Oh, hey, Ronald Jones, what's his role going to be? What was that, 2 or 3, 4 years ago?
Carrington was on the Ronald Jones bandwagon. He was leading the charge.
Then you never heard from him ever again.
And then he gets off the plane wearing his Welcome to Kansas City merch, and then that's the lasting image of his time in Kansas City. So I really don't think this is going to change anything other than the fact that, like, Samaje Perine wasn't on the roster in training camp. I think that hurt his role this year. I think a lot of us, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of us expected Samaje Perine to have a really large role, especially in the back half of the season.
He had the 4th most receiving yards for running backs the year before in Denver.
Exactly.
And he had a big role the last, the playoffs and the last couple of weeks of the regular season.
And he had big moments, right?
Yeah.
Like, Mahomes trusted him to, close his eyes and throw a hook shot, and then Samaje Perine would catch it or get the ball lateral to him by Travis Kelce, right? But the idea that he was going to be legit running back 2 type of workload, who was one of the leading receivers amongst running backs in football, that never materialized. I think that's probably because he wasn't in St. Joe. So get Elijah Mitchell in St. Joe. Get Kareem Hunt in St. Joe. Draft your guy. For me, the running back line is their own 3rd-round pick. I hope it's not the Titans pick. But
yeah, that'd be pretty early.
If it's the Titans pick, you get your choice of the day 2 kind of guy. Not day 2, I guess, because the 2nd round is day 2. But you get your choice of 3rd round and beyond, as opposed to seeing where the running back board falls. But I think they probably spend a pick on a running back in the 3rd or 4th round with one of those picks, and maybe they maneuver some. We'll see. But I don't think Kareem Hunt changes that. I think he just gives you a professional running back with a pretty high floor and no remaining burst, which was useful at times last year.
We got Joshua Brisco, hanging out with us. The Fan Club Friday. All right, while we're talking offseason, earlier we were looking through what they've done to this point. Just from a free agent perspective, I guess we can add Kareem Hunt's name to the list. Yeah. What kind of grade would you give it? Because I don't know how you could say an A, given the fact they haven't addressed defensive line, and they'll probably do in the draft, but they're not touching it so far in free agency. I said it's like a B+ though, because what you were laying out, I'm kind of with you. Left tackle, considering the options, I think they did about as good as they could, unless you thought they could convince Ronnie Stanley to leave Baltimore, and we all know he stayed. So I think they actually, from a cost and upside perspective, did pretty darn good there with Jalen Moore. We all know that they retained Nick Bolton. Hollywood Brown, I definitely wanted back, and that deal looks great, by the way. So I actually think they're B+ range from a free agent perspective, but they also have to get a deal done with Trey Smith for me to keep that grade. If you tell me that we're sitting in St. Joe and he's playing on the $24 million, whatever it is, franchise tag, then it goes down to like a C+, because that has to get done for this to be an A or anywhere near that, or a B+, I should say.
And I think you have to kind of include the Joe Thuney trade, the baton to Kingsley, just in terms of how all of that happens together. I think this offseason has been a B something. And the next couple days, the next couple weeks may sort of settle that in on the higher or lower side of it. If they would have given Dan Moore the contract that he got, we're talking, we are in C's and not high C's here. Like that deal to me feels like kind of a disaster waiting to happen. And maybe it's just overpaying a good player. I don't know if it's going to be a disaster, but it would have been for the Chiefs in the way that Juwan Taylor's deal has been a, quote, disaster. He's not a disastrous player.
They won 2 Super Bowls, so it's not like not an anchor.
And he's not a disastrous player. He's just not worth that money.
Yeah.
Jalen Moore, you're pretty safe here. It's a 2-year deal where if he's above average, it's a great 2-year, $30 million deal.
Well, if he's great in year 1, you'll extend him. You'll go ahead and give him an extension after next year.
Every NFL insider worth their salt will tell you, here's how NFL contracts work. A 2-year deal is a 1-year deal.
Yep.
A 3-year deal is a 2-year deal with a team option, and a 4-year deal is a 2-year deal with 2 team options.
Right.
That's pretty much the layout of NFL contracts. Nobody's really locked up more than a year or 2, unless they have to start moving their money around. Although I saw Howie Roseman today put 4 void years on a $2 million contract. And I'm like, what the hell is the point of that?
That was certainly for an excellent player who probably had a pretty big impact last year, right, Cody? Who was the player?
I think it was Twitter's favorite player.
It was Joshua Briscoe's favorite inactive player, Joshua Uche, future Super Bowl MVP for the Eagles, probably.
They gave him, why did they put 4 void years? Is crazy.
It's crazy.
I'd love to ask Brett Veach. I think the next time if we end up having him on the show or something out, one legitimate question I would ask is, about 70% of the league now has really accepted void years as being a huge thing people do in order to manipulate the cap. He is a part of a small minority in the NFL who has not adopted that policy. Again, Howie Roseman is doing it for $2 million deals now for 4 years down the road. They should also probably just cap that. If you're signing someone to a 1-year deal, I should not be allowed to add 4 void years. Are you nuts?
Reasonable. You'd only add as many void years as the life of the deal, maybe. Like, if it's a one-year deal, you can add one void year.
That's a good idea. Or does it have to be deals over $20 million? Or so I have no idea, you know?
This is the same thing the Dodgers are doing, which is do it till you can't, Roseman. But, like, can we cap it a little bit? Let's not get nuts here. Because if I can add 4 void years to a $2 million deal, well, then why don't I add 50 void years to Patrick Mahomes' contract? Right. Bronze can have the money 50 years from now, and he still gets all the cash he could possibly want in his life, and it doesn't matter. You know, like, at some point.
The Dodgers are actually deferring payments, though,
I know,
right?
yeah,
in the NFL, that money's got to come out up front.
Correct.
Which
There's no
might
such thing as deferral in NFL.
That may be the answer Brett Veach can't give you, is that this is not money we want to defer, because Clark Hunt would like to have this money sort of siloed year by year, and you want to know what your cash budget is that you're working with and all of that. So, I mean, there are also practical issues not to do. I think they might still do that for a rework of Travis Kelce's deal. I thought they would be into
that. Would make all the sense in the world.
It would make total sense to do it, because you know he's going to be off the team after this year, presumably, right? Like, that's what we're all working under the assumption of.
Although he said he's not ready to say he's retiring yet.
Then maybe that's what's getting in the way. But with the Trey Smith deal not done,
somewhere.
The Mahomes and Chris Jones money is why everything so far this offseason has worked. But I think they had to have been thinking they'd have a Trey Smith deal done by now, and they don't, and that's concerning me.
Yeah, that changes how I view even the Joe Tooney trade as well. Yeah. If all of a sudden you're not getting one, and look for Trey Smith, hey, you sign that baby as quickly as possible because you haven't really made any money by NFL standards, and you know we all know they got till middle of July to figure this thing out. It's a big mistake if they're not able to get something done. That's all it is.
It makes me nervous because it is such a boulder in the middle of your salary cap too. 1 year of Trey Smith at $24 million or whatever isn't the worst thing in the world, because that would have eventually happened on the contract. Of course, the cap would keep rising, but it feels impossible that the Chiefs' plan was to trade Joe Tooney, tag and play Trey Smith, and then lose him in free agency next year.
And then
that can't be the plan.
No, and to pay $42 million flat up front for Kelce and Trey Smith.
Yeah.
That's just not good cap. That's not good cap management, so I don't think that's their plan.
Yeah. What about the rest of the AFC West, what you've seen? We're impressed with what the Broncos have done so far.
I think they're the second best team in the division.
You know, and I could see it. My only thing is, do you believe, as long as you believe Bo Nix doesn't have a sophomore slump and regress?
Right.
Because I still think the Chargers, with Harbaugh, the chance of them regressing is pretty slim. I could see, by picking the regression candidate between the Chargers, Broncos, I think the Broncos fit it a little bit more. With that said, I'm with you, though. They had 2 studs on defense from the 49ers, and then I like Evan Ingram as their tight end moving forward. What do you make of the AFC West offseason?
The Raiders also are in a better place than they were this time last year. They were in a better place than they were 2 weeks ago or before they hired Pete Carroll. And all right, we're gonna do this like all-in sort of. This is not explicitly not the team in the AFC West you asked about, but it feels like the Raiders are kind of looking at what the Chiefs did with Andy Reid and Alex Smith. Listen, there are a lot of differences between these guys, but like, okay, we have tried too many things.
Bring it.
Yes. We have tried too many wonky things of sell the farm and give it to John Gruden. Where's Josh McDaniels? Okay, Antonio Pierce, players coach. The defensive guys love him. They're at a point now where it feels like, okay, we are going to get a known quantity and one of the most successful all-around coaches of all time in Pete Carroll. Like, his entire coaching career is really like
college and the pros.
Legit Mount Rushmore argument type of stuff, right? We're going to bring him in, and we know his personality, we know his accolades, we know what he has done as a professional. And Gino's in a very similar space to all of that, where, look, he's not a top 10 quarterback, but he has top 10 quarterback games. Who was the last Raiders quarterback who occasionally scratched a top 10 quarterback
in his
week?
MVP season.
I guess so.
But after that, pretty much no.
The only thing with the Raiders, though, it's like, where's this getting them? Like, best case, everything goes great. They're an 8-win, 9-win team.
Yes, but it's one of those wins they were against the Chiefs now, right?
Yeah,
like, that's
maybe.
kind of the thing that where the entire AFC West, back to your original question, the entire AFC West water level has risen this offseason, where I'm not buying more from Bo Nix, but I'm also not buying a regression. I think it's going to be kind of around where he is right now, and maybe he improves a little bit over the course of his rookie deal and all of that. But I am still a Herbert Harbaugh believer, and I think the rosters of the rest of these teams right now seem like, especially for Denver, when it feels like they kind of got halfway into the Sean Payton rebuild. Like, I think we're seeing their vision come together, really, for all three of those teams, which ought to alarm the Chiefs a little bit. They'll win the AFC West next year, but it's something that this is not the scrub division it was.
People are already picking. It's March 14th.
You don't have to pick the Chiefs to lose the division in
March.
Picking
the Chargers. It's crazy. Let's see what the offseason looks like for all the teams before we already say that this is the year where the Chiefs are going down. What?
The Chargers straight up do not have a pass rush. So unless they're trading for Trey Hendrickson or signing a bunch of dudes.
They really should.
It's kind of a perfect fit.
I'll tell you one guy the Chargers just lost who I'm really excited about.
Okay.
It's Christian Fulton.
So
that's a really good signing.
It is my favorite move the Chiefs have made. I don't know if it's the best, the most impactful. Jalen Moore is really, really important. But the Christian Fulton deal has me actually real life excited because of what it allows them to do. Christian Fulton is a physical outside corner who can read screens, make tackles, and play on the boundary at a high level. So is Jalen Watson. Well, so is Trent McDuffie. But where's Trent McDuffie at his absolute best? He's the best slot cover player in the NFL. So the Chiefs now take a very good outside corner in Trent McDuffie in 70-some% of the snaps. Now he's back in the slot where he's the best at that thing in football. And you have two high-level corners on the outside. And now Jalen Watson's an overqualified CB3. He's going to play 70% of the snaps. McDuffie will be on the outside when it's him and Fulton. I am really excited about that because it upgrades several positions. It also upgrades safety because Shamari Connor can get out of the slot and back into what he was doing in his rookie season.
And we were looking at all the guys that their deals are up after the. So this guarantees at least you have McDuffie and Fulton heading into next season 2026.
Because I also think they're going to draft another corner in the 5th or 6th round who'll be a starter in 2026. Which is what they do.
Based on their history, almost impossible he wouldn't be a starter by 2026.
Right. The worst case scenarios of those guys are guys that did play a little bit and then got hurt. Najee Johnson, which, by the way, since we're talking about the salary cap stuff with the running backs and all of that, Elijah Mitchell and Kareem Hunt both have lower or very, very equivalent cap hits to Jack Cochran and Najee Johnson
That's kind of weird
now.
how that works.
Really strange. The Chiefs didn't have to I think it was exclusive rights free agent tag those two guys, but they're coming in with $3 million plus cap hits right now. They're not guaranteed. They could lower those closer to training camp or after camp at cutdowns and everything. But Jack Cochran and Najee Johnson are holding $6.5 million in cap space right now. That's strange to me. Jack Cochran played 9 defensive snaps last year.
Special teams guy, but that's crazy.
That's two Dave Tobe signings, really. Najee Johnson kept getting on the field, and they didn't want him on the field, and now Christian Fulton's here. I don't know. For nitpicking on some of the salary things, those are two that are a little bit strange to me.
It's just a weak corner class in the free agency market, and there's a limited amount of guys that want to go high in the draft. Maybe they just thought somebody's going to snipe him. They're like, you know what? I'll hold the cash for now, and then I'll make it work in September.
I'm more comfortable with it for Johnson than I am for Cochran.
Now, the biggest news, though, I hate that we've waited 21 minutes to get to the biggest offseason signing, Gardner Minshew.
God, thank you! I'm not even saying you. I am saying God. Thank you for doing this for me.
We got an entertaining backup quarterback. Why not? If we're going to have veterans backing up Mahomes, let's go ahead and have some entertainment, please.
Versus Henne and Wentz, which are just the equivalent of Lowe's dad. It's fine, but
I don't know if Gardner Minshew has children or not. I don't know if Gardner Minshew knows if he has children or not. But I was going to say...
it does feel like he would answer that question, not that I know of.
Yes, 100%. and that literally, it may be true. I've had enough dad backup quarterbacks. This is the energy I want. Gardner Minshew is still very, very experienced. He's still a veteran.
Oh, yeah.
He's still a professional, all of those things. But man, all Carson Wentz gave us last year, all due respect, all he gave us last year was some boring press conferences and a really, really hard to watch Week 18. I don't even remember preseason highlights from Carson Wentz.
I don't remember.
Give me Gardner Minshew, Bailey Zappi, send me to St. Joe.
I want the RV up there. I want the RV up there.
Oh my God, it has to be. It has to be there.
As someone who got Jack Cochran for an interview at training camp last year, I'd welcome Gardner Minshew.
I would crawl over broken glass. Hey, listen, that's a $3 million man, Jack Cochran. This just dawned on me. Okay. We may finally have the heir to the Anthony Sherman arrival throne. I don't know if you do that year one as a backup. Sure. I don't know. It might be kind of a big entrance. But if somebody tells Gardner Minshew...
The RV with the American flag just draped over the RV.
Just Bruce Springsteen playing as he rolls in.
He might just be wearing an American flag around his waist or something. Handlebar mustache, whatever. I feel like we're going to get some sort of St. Joe content out of Minshew.
He just oozes charisma. What's not to like about a player that has that kind of energy?
And I understand that there's a little more chaos to him than there is to a Carson Wentz. And Wentz still had a relatively high ceiling, big arm, and you've seen him play at a pretty high level. He had started relatively recently. We saw nothing out of Carson Wentz to think that either he's going to get a better job somewhere else. Worth noting, he's a free agent right now, so it seems like this is a decision the Chiefs probably made of I think there's a little more juice in what Minshew has.
I will
like
say,
it a lot.
out of all media members, I think Brisco, you and Carson, Gardner Minshew, most similar, man. I feel like that's exactly what Gardner Minshew could be wearing when he walks into training camp.
I would happily, I'll share wardrobes with them. I was even a little more mustache forward a few days ago. This is really, really important to me as a person.
We texted the first text
not to like?
last night about Minshew. Cody and I really were like, you know what? We actually want the backup quarterback for an interview in St. Joe.
Yes.
Can I book him in now?
Yes.
It could be day one.
It'll
We're
be
at
a
training
blast.
camp.
I think he's also making more money from the Raiders this year than he is from the Chiefs.
Oh, beautiful.
So, it's all right there. You can dunk on the Raiders. You can talk about his entire fascinating life. And I'll just say, everybody in the locker room this year, keep those TV cameras up just in case. We've heard stories.
We're trying to learn that lesson in the NFL.
Yeah, that was the whole thing last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, sure. I guess it was.
It really was.
I guess you're right. Sorry, I wasn't in any locker rooms last year. TV cameras, never mind. I guess you're good outside.
The way they draw the lines anyway are just so funny.
The most arbitrary things. But you got to draw a line somewhere, right? And I'm going to draw mine right around Gardner Minshew, and that's where I belong, right there with Gardner Minshew.
What else have you been up to in general? We'll get back to some football and talk a little bit about college basketball as well. But off season for you, did you go anywhere? Where are you going?
We haven't gone anywhere yet. I will say that within a span of 3 days maybe, my wife and I caught up on Severance, which we had not been watching.
So I didn't watch last night. I do need to. That's the. Don't spoil. Have you caught up to last night at least?
No.
Okay.
Not up to last night.
Everybody dies. They're all dead.
Oh no! It was a dream.
The season finale is a funeral in a dream. And then we wake up.
So Cold Harbor is actually just that's when they wake up.
It's Ben Wyatt from Parks and Rec. He wakes up and he goes, "Oh God, I just had a terrible dream that I was in some frozen
when
lake."
He was in that depression spell.
I love the show. I love the show. I've tried to get some friends in, and they're like, the first 2 episodes just them walking around a white hallway. It's boring. I'm like, patience. Patience.
That's crazy to me because I have told people the first episode's free on Apple because they can hook you and pull you in. I have told people if the first episode doesn't get you, maybe it's not for you. Okay. Because that first episode for me was like, all right, give it all to me. We're watching 6 in a row.
I was behind. Cody knows because he was talking about it, and I was super behind. And then I binge watched it over a 5-day period, and now I'm talking to him more about it than he was before.
He's more because I'm not caught up. We can't even discuss it right. You know.
Are you a week behind, Cody? Or are you?
I'm several weeks.
behind. Okay.
Now,
I have some thoughts about. I want to talk about episode.
Last night's the only one I haven't watched.
8, I guess. 9 was last night, right?
Yes, because episode 7 was.
Yes. Episode 7,
top-notch.
critically acclaimed. Yeah. Episode 8, I want to talk to somebody about, but it won't be Cody. Episode 9, everybody died.
On Wednesday, I'm at the Big 12 tournament, and I'm up in the press box, and I kid you not, basketball games go KU is playing, and I hear these two guys next to me. So have you seen Severance? And I'm like, no way, dude.
It is the most streamed show, I believe, in Apple TV history or something like that.
It's the best, in my opinion, it's the best, sit around and make conspiracy theory shows.
Yeah. Everybody has a theory. Everybody has a theory.
You're like, what's going on with Lost? What does it mean?
Yes.
So much of it is that part of the watch. In Breaking Bad, we're not like, what does it mean?
Yeah. Right.
We know what it meant.
It's a deep, just, it does cause you to think, and you're texting with your buddies like, do you think this mean they showed this room and they didn't show that room, or all kinds of stuff. So it's great.
If someone listening now hasn't started and you go, well, season 2 is almost over. I'll tell you from experience, incredible binge watch. Yeah. Because you don't watch all 10 episodes or 8, whatever season 1 was. Don't watch it all in one sitting. I think Renee and I watched it in 2 sittings. It is nice to have a little bit of time to theorize and whatnot. But that first season also is just cliffhanger after cliffhanger after new information after cliffhanger. And it's sometimes it is 1:30 a.m., but I would really like to know what that last 30 seconds meant. So can we start the next one?
Severance on Apple TV+. All right, up next, we'll get a quick What's Trending in. We'll keep talking with our Chiefs contributor, Josh Brisco. He's here for a Fan Club Friday. We'll talk some more NFL as a whole. Still no news on Aaron Rodgers. We'll also get into the college basketball tournament and what the Missouri Tigers could do tonight.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for K-State Athletics. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Here's a question. Would you take your storm-damaged car to a body shop that only did bumpers? Of course not. So why call just a roofing company after your entire home or business goes through a storm? Get more than a roofer. Get an experienced restoration team. Get PAC Construction Services. We're seasoned construction professionals and, are you ready? Former insurance adjusters. Our 100 years of diverse and specialized experience means faster repairs, fewer hassles, and fewer delays. Our emergency response team is on call 24/7 for storm damage, fire, water, and even mold restoration. Veteran-owned, Kansas City trusted. No one will care more for your home or business inside and out than we will. We're ready when you need us. Visit PacKC.com and schedule a free inspection. With KC's recent storm history, there's a good chance you could already have covered damage. Find out today at PacKC.com. That's PACTKC.com.
At Shane Company, we know getting engaged is a big decision. But once you know, you know. That's the way our customers feel when they choose a Shane Company engagement ring. They walk into a warm welcome and walk out with their dream ring, knowing they got it right. For almost 100 years, we've been offering personalized shopping experiences. And we're in it way past the honeymoon, with a free lifetime warranty that includes the center stone, cleanings, repairs, and resizing for life. Shop with us at shaneco.com or at your neighborhood store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, and it's time to make a big deal out of nothing. Announcing Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event. Zero, like in 0% financing. Zero is back. Up to 0% financing on select 2024 and 2025 Subaru models for 72 months. And we're 2024 Google's highest review rated and only locally owned Subaru retailer in Kansas City. 0% event. The Subaru A Lot to Love event at Lee Summit Subaru.
Google highest review rated Subaru retailer in Kansas City based on Google Analytics.
Hey, it's Dick Ray. Why do they call us the heating, AC, and plumbing magician? We show up on time, diagnose and fix the problem quickly without breaking the bank. And now we have our own madness going on in March with our Dick Ray BOGO deal. Schedule a $99 AC tune-up by March 31st and receive your furnace tune-up next fall for free. Come on, sing it with me.
Call Dick Ray, he's your cooling magician. Dick Ray, he's a man on a mission.
Kick off the royal season with 96.5 The Fan at Hollywood Casino. Join us for an exclusive 96.5 The Fan roundtable featuring Michael Massey, Josh Vernier, and other special guests on March 28th at 6 p.m. Don't miss your chance to get insider insights before the season begins.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
we can be twinsies
to
how was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out.
Pour Downy in the rinse straight.
Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean.
Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer-dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy, just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit. Once again, that's Indeed.com/credit.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Money-back guarantees and parts and labor warranties mean you're not just buying products, you're securing your investment. For a limited time, receive a free furnace when you purchase an AC. Schedule a complimentary proposal online at AnthonyPHCE.com.
Opening day coverage is brought to you by Hollywood Casino. Stop by Hollywood Casino every Wednesday in March from 12 until 2 to register for your chance to win opening day tickets. Your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Real quick, we'll do a What's Trending, thanks to our friends over at Baker University, where graduates earn higher salaries and land jobs faster than any other university in Kansas. List them off quick. Apply today at bakeru.edu. Obviously, top in the news in the last hour or so, the Chiefs have re-signed Kareem Hunt. A little bit of surprising news. We reacted to that. If you missed that in the first half hour of this hour or a little bit towards the end of last hour, you can check out the Odyssey podcast page and, of course, the Odyssey app. But Kareem Hunt, one-year deal, worth up to, $2.8 million, what we're talking about here. So that is number one.
Next up on What's Trending, Missouri will take on Florida tonight at 6 o'clock. The number 2 seed versus the number 7 seed after they got past Mississippi State last night. 8.5-point dogs. KU dropped to Arizona last night, ending their Big 12 run as well.
Also tomorrow on What's Trending, how about the KC Current? They open up their 2025 season at CPKC Stadium, 11:45 start time against the Portland, not Timbers, but Portland Thorns, I'm sorry. Timbers would be the MLS team.
Correct.
I have another piece of TV news. I don't know if you guys have mentioned What's Trending. Ted Lasso, season 4. Confirmed. I don't know if you guys have talked about that yet. But
Gold's never watched Ted Lasso.
Really?
One episode.
Really?
Yeah. If I sat down and tried to start binge watching again, I think I would be good.
Gold is anti-comedy. Let's just be honest here. He's anti-comedy television.
It's not my favorite.
Not anti-comedy movie, anti-comedy television.
I'm also occasionally anti-comedy television.
I like stand-up comedy. Cody's right. I like comedy movies. Comedy on CBS back in the day, just pick random not my thing.
I like 2.5 Men.
I like 2.5 Men, though. I like 2.5 Men.
That's the one I was
Oh, yeah. So you a Big Bang Theory guy?
I actually was.
Okay,
I actually was.
NBC. You need to watch. If you guys watch
that's what it is.
I like Michael Schur.
So Michael Schur.
Here's the thing. Cody knows I don't like I tried to get into Parks and Rec and Community and stuff. Not my vibe.
Not your thing? Okay, I like both of those a lot.
Yeah.
I think I will say my
By the way, that's what's trending.
That's what's trending.
Joshua Brisco hanging out with us on the Fan Club Friday.
Also trending and talking over the ad reads. I think The Good Place is the best of those.
The Good Place, okay.
It's also Michael Schur. Cody, have you read the book that he wrote about that? Or with the philosophy that he got through that show? It's called How to Be Perfect. But the cover art of the album, the T is off the side and everything. It's very good. You should read it. It's a Michael Schur's book. Fantastic. Audiobook is great. But The Good Place is my full rec on that one.
We'll get to the random question of the day in just a little bit, but we were going to pivot for a second. Just NFL-wise, during the break, you brought up Aaron Rodgers, too. He still hasn't made a decision. It's Friday. We're waiting. The Steelers are waiting. Everybody's waiting. He likes the attention. Sell me on why the Vikings should want Aaron Rodgers, because I don't get it. If you're going to move on from Sam Darnold, then just start J.J. McCarthy.
I think it's really cool that Aaron Rodgers' $49 million dead cap hit was immediately followed by a parade of desperate teams who are also going to regret signing Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. I understand the allure. It's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and he's available. Well, that's exciting. My team needs a quarterback. Give me Aaron Rodgers. It only really works if you have an incredible short-term memory loss, right? If you go, I remember Aaron Rodgers up until 2020. He was good even beyond that, which is why there's still some allure. I understand why Rodgers would want to go to Minnesota, but I think if you're Minnesota, you've made your bet on the J.J. McCarthy experience. That rookie contract is what allows you to spend on these other guys. Yeah. maybe if God, I don't.
They hate
believe
JJ
this.
McCarthy. I'm convinced.
I don't believe this, but I think if someone had to sign Aaron Rodgers to a 1-year deal, I think it makes more sense for Minnesota than the rest.
Even for Pittsburgh, though?
Pittsburgh is so...
Where else are they going to go? Russell Wilson at this point?
I guess what I should say is that I don't think it matters who Pittsburgh signs.
Okay.
I think they're the same team. If it's I have a really hard time envisioning Rodgers having a 4,000-yard season in Pittsburgh, even with two good weapons now in DK and Pickens.
Arthur Smith is calling plays.
I think Aaron Rodgers could have 4,000 yards with Kevin O'Connell and those weapons.
I do too, but it's just like it all comes down
I'm
to
not betting on it.
Like because of they were interested in Sam Darnold, couldn't make the money work. Now they're like interested in Aaron Rodgers. I'll just be honest, I no longer think J.J. McCarthy is going to work as a starting NFL quarterback because they don't believe it.
It's at least putting that spotlight on him. That's what they're telling you.
They don't believe it. Like, there's some part of them that seriously doubts
what's the holdup?
that J.J. McCarthy is the goods.
Yep.
He should be healthy enough from the injury. You drafted him in the first round. You had him in meeting rooms. And McConnell, something about him was like, O'Connell's like,
because it's different
They
than...
had Daniel Jones in the locker room last year, too. They could have just paid Daniel Jones to back him up, be veteran backup and everything. They're pursuing Aaron Rodgers. I think
because a lot of people will then make the comparison. Like, well, Aaron Rodgers was in front of Jordan Love. It worked out. The difference is Aaron Rodgers was already there. You're now going to bring in somebody else over J.J. McCarthy.
That's a good point.
That's the difference of the it's okay to sit behind the veteran thing. Well, Aaron Rodgers was under contract.
The guy who is in place, the incumbent, is the one who feels bad with what happens, right? Aaron Rodgers is here. You draft Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers feels bad.
Right.
J.J. McCarthy is here. You sign Aaron Rodgers. J.J. McCarthy feels bad. Like, it's all about who you are showing a lack of faith in.
Do you think...
I can see what Rodgers wants. Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison.
Totally.
Kevin O'Connell.
I know you'll say, hey, what has McCarthy done in the NFL? The answer is nothing yet. But if that were to be the case, let's say it's a 2-year deal for Rodgers. If I'm McCarthy, am I asking out? Am I saying, I want out? Get me out. Get me out.
If it's a real 2-year deal for Aaron Rodgers, like, you know what? Pittsburgh got a call. Pittsburgh got to say, hey, you guys just signed Aaron Rodgers.
If you liked him coming out of the draft, sure.
Can I have J.J. McCarthy for a 4th-round pick, one offseason after, what did he go, 12 or something overall? 10 overall. I would be more than happy to, right now, this is totally apples and oranges. This is so bad faith. But right now, J.J. McCarthy, career-wise, draft pick to where he is in the moment when Patrick Mahomes took over for Alex Smith. The 10th overall pick who sat for 1 year. Now, Mahomes sat. McCarthy was hurt. We saw all of that, how that worked. But he sat.
And he probably would have sat the entire year based on the year Sam Darnold had. So let's just be honest.
If you liked him, if you're Pittsburgh and you said, I really like McCarthy, we would have taken him further back in the first round or whatever, I would make that call if they sign Rodgers. Yeah, I'd be interested to see if anything happens there.
Do you guys honestly
they
think...
also traded up for McCarthy, right? I mean, they gave up a ton for him, right?
Do you guys actually think Monday will have Rodgers' destination?
No.
He'll still be taking moonlight walks on the beach.
My guess is he wants to drag it out another week or so. Yeah.
Let's get to a quick random question. Drew, you don't have to play the sound. We'll keep the club music going. Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Results every week, then receive free support for life online at awaken180weightloss.com. Question I have for you guys today relates to my kids. So yesterday they bring home the classic Major Saver card.
Oh yeah.
Have you been sucked into buying these from your nieces and nephews?
Not yet. They're not old enough for that.
Okay,
but I
well then great. You can buy one from Ruby.
I bought some from Sean Barber's kids before. We all sold those back in the day. You know, you get the limo pizza party if you sell the most.
Yeah, so coupon book kind of thing.
So
right?
that's the thing.
These gold. Are they still gold cards? Or are they silver?
I think they're silver now.
I think it's for a football team.
But interesting, you mentioned the limo pizza party. They bring it home yesterday, and Ruby said the limo pizza party is no longer for the kid with the most. If you sell 15 cards, you can get a limo ride, assuming with the other kids who sell 15 cards, to the pizza party. And I guess the question I have for you guys, is it worth it? Because here's what happened.
How much are each card?
Desmond, $15. I'm not going to buy them all. But here's the difference. So we bought one last night. We get two other, but like my daughter, right? She's got to get to 15 in order to get this thing she really wants. Desmond was interested in the Worlds of Fun, Oceans of Fun, which required 50 cards. To my response, our conversation was, I said, hey, man, we can just go to Worlds of Fun, Oceans of Fun. He goes, oh, that's way easier. Done with this piece of paper.
Yeah.
No longer interested. So is it cheaper for me to just rent a limo and take her to get pizza or go through the effort to try to get her to sell 15 of these cards?
I'm opening Uber right now because I think you can get like an
how much
Uber
are they?
X
How much
or whatever.
$15 each. But again, I don't have to buy them all. Gold, if you buy one, I'm down to 11.
I mean, $750 is what you're telling me the Worlds of Fun package is going to be.
Well, I'll just buy Worlds of Fun season
That's what I'm
pass.
saying. So there's no point. The limo.
It's for a season pass.
A limo ride. I mean,
she gets to bring her friends in that scenario, right? It's not just she's with these other randoms who sold 15 Major Saver cards.
Here's why. You could rent a limo to take you point A to point B. Like, you do that for like high school proms, right?
$200.
Like you have like 3 or 4
but
families.
It would only cost me. It cost me $300 if I bought every card. I'm not going to buy every card, right? But let's say there's 6 left at the end. There's Gold buys 1, you buy 1, and I'm still stuck with 6. $100 maybe out of my pocket for her to ride in this limo.
Hey,
or I could just rent a limo and she could bring her friends.
I'm going to fix this for you, Cody. If you drive a limousine, own a limousine, or work for a limousine company, 913-586-7965, text in with what your rates are and if you would give Cody a discount.
My question with this, too,
Cody.
though, is for me, where are the locations only up north? Because if they're up north...
The way the Major Saver works now is I send you the link.
Oh, yeah.
You can buy it for any part in your city.
Okay.
You can buy it specifically. Oh, yeah. And you can buy it specifically for your portion of the city or state. It's crazy. It's way easier to sell them than it used to.
It does make a lot of sense.
Before,
try to stick it out on Twitter and just hope.
Because the issue before was definitely...
Is that the worst strategy? Do I stick it in there and be like, hey, my kid wants to go to this limo and I don't want to pay him all. So, you guys, come on.
See, but here's the problem.
Help me out.
I don't blame you.
The deal's actually pretty good on the Major Saver.
I don't blame you for doing that. The only problem is, goes back to like the Girl Scout cookie thing. If now it's to the point where the parents just send a link to everybody, it's like, the kids aren't even doing anything.
Yeah. No, that's true.
I made my daughter send a video to her grandparents being like, please buy this. So, like, I'm making her do a little, like, if you'd like a video to try to convince you to buy one, she'll make you one. I'm forcing her into, like, self-servitude here a little
You need her to do a little TikTok dance and be like, I want to ride a limousine and, like, do the whole...
That's the video I send out on Twitter later with the link to, like...
Yeah, the Major
Making
Saver...
her just practically begging for it.
The
She
Major
really
Saver
wants to ride in that limo.
Major Saver sales rep would come to the school, man, and he would be like, you would think he was the coolest guy. He's like, he basically opened up his jacket. He's like, look at all the fun things that I can sell you right here. And there's a limo ride and the pizza party and everything.
In fairness, I didn't think the deals were all that bad on them. Like some of them, it's like,
give me an example. Give me an example.
So like one was like, you get 1 free large pizza if you buy 1 free large pizza. The thing's only $15.
Okay.
I've practically paid for half the thing if I get the pizza. One was like if you get a free entree if you buy a free entree. One was like you get an appetizer if you buy an entree, whatever. Like the normal stuff.
Cody, I can't vouch for this, but I'm seeing like for Kansas City area limos, $160 to $300 an hour. They're not going to get an hour in that limo
it's
for
just
the pizza
a
party.
ride to the pizza place.
Right, but there's an hour minimum probably.
Sure, but I'm saying pay for. I think you could rent a limo for an hour.
Gotcha.
And make your daughter's life, her friends' lives. It would be the biggest thing they do.
I think maybe I tried.
Is her birthday soon or something?
June.
Like,
I think I tried. I think I tried to like.
Parenting is easy.
Casually, like maybe just try to casually get to these 15. But if we come up short, it's like I'm just gonna rent this thing. And we're just gonna live our life, and then everybody can be in it.
Textline has determined that the random question of the day was just so Cody can sell Major Saver.
I didn't send anybody a link. I didn't send anybody a link.
It turned into Cody getting free limo rides for his daughter, but
you were going to get harassed by my kid one way or the other, whether we take that to the air or not.
Totally good point.
Like that was never the case. If you'd like a link, please.
DMs are open.
If somebody wants a Major Saver card, boy, they're all yours.
Promo code Ruby.
That is the random question of the day.
You just get a customized link now.
Promo code Ruby20 for 20% off your first order.
Desmond gave up so fast. I was like, hey, man, I'll just take you to Worlds of Fun. I'm not selling 50 of these cards. He was like, cool, sounds great. Like, he was just like, I'm out of the game. Sounds good, man.
He's preoccupied already enough.
Is he going to want to take the friend from school?
Have you been following Desmond's...
Through social and I think a little bit here. I'm sure I'm missing some details, but Desmond seems like a hustler.
It's been a month in, and he's still head over heels. Yesterday, he told me, came home, he said she kissed me on the cheek again, even though he knows, well, they got in trouble at school. They found out, and the teacher said, we don't kiss, we don't kiss.
How old is he?
He's in kindergarten.
6.
And so he said, but nobody saw, so we're good. And I'm like,
oh, damn!
Not good, dude.
Oh, but kinda. Better than them seeing you.
He said they decided, because last time she was telling people, and then they figured out that's how they got ratted on. So this time they decided, no telling anybody, that way we're safe.
I mean, that's an important life lesson. And also, Cody...
They send notes back and forth. They sit next to each other at lunch. They're an old married couple at this point. By 6th grade standards.
Mortifying, right? Like, is a portion of you terrified to your core right now that he's figured out, as long as nobody else knows, it's going to be okay?
A little.
That's a little scary. It's kind of baller and pretty terrifying.
And then I told Drew maybe made a point that maybe I'm teaching him too much, because he's like, I talk a lot when we sit together next to lunch. I said, well, you should let her talk too and listen. I'm like, maybe you don't need to know that yet. You can learn that the hard way, like the rest of us.
Life lessons,
Dude, this is I was about to say, well, by the time he's 16, he's going to have all this figured out. Like, well, I don't know if you want that either. I think not having all that figured out at 16 is important.
We said earlier, the good news is he's still telling Cody everything. that's happening. I go, the issue is now, like,
I couldn't be the rat to the teacher and be like, hey, this is still going on, because then I'm the rat.
Yeah, he's got to still be able to hope. Cody's got to hope that he's still telling him everything. Otherwise, you're going to find out. You're going to get a call again.
He's coming off the bus and he's like, he's not on to us anymore. I thought, dude, it's a month.
So says this
that
girl's
might as well be a 20-year relationship in kindergarten.
Yes!
A month?
A month?
They had to survive an entire, 5 straight days off because of snow. When it survived that, I couldn't,
It's long distance at that point. They had a long-distance relationship for 5 days. I mean, that's ridiculous. I guess summer's going to be a real challenge. Does he have access to this girl outside of school?
We've never met her parents. We've never met her parents yet. So
yeah.
Well, honestly, now I feel like that conversation with him is going to be so awkward.
Super weird.
They also had to get a call from the teacher, and I'm assuming that the girl has not been afraid to mention the kid's name. They'll put 2 and 2 together pretty quick.
Oh God, you think their parents are like, oh yeah, I'm actually a real big fan of 96.5 The Fan.
What would you do if Desmond showed up?
Familiar.
What would you do if Desmond showed up in April, late April, and said, "Hey, I want to hang out with her during the summertime. I need you to meet her parents."
Yeah,
he's already asked to hang out with her in outside of school hours. I just told him I don't have her number. So
yeah. So now you're just teaching. Well, Des, just get her number and everything will work out. Again,
another life lesson.
Give it time.
What about this weekend? What are you guys up to? We got a selection Sunday on Sunday. Obviously, brackets will be out. MU tonight. We were saying it's a no-lose situation tonight for them against Florida. They win, their seeding might improve. They lose, you're losing to maybe the best team in the country right now in Florida.
Yeah, my experience is that on Sunday, it's really exciting for me. One of the most exciting days of the sports calendar. On Sunday, for me, college basketball season begins. So I'm really excited about all Sunday. This. I mean, honestly, the distance I have put between myself and regular season college basketball, I'm looking around, being all right, so these teams are good. K-State's bad again, and
hate to cut you off. The Chiefs just made another signing.
Whoa, okay.
Jerry Tillery, from Jordan Schultz.
Fabulous.
Chiefs are signing former Charger first-round defensive tackle. There's your defensive line acquisition we were talking about. 1-year deal, 12.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and 50 career starts. We were like, hey, they haven't done anything on the defensive line, so Tillery.
I haven't heard that name in a long time. I used to think he was a decent player for the Chargers then.
I liked him out of the draft.
He's 28. He'll be 29 in October.
He has 12.5 career sacks, and he's 29. I don't love that.
Last year, he played in 17 games.
Oh, got it. You're talking about a run-stuffing defensive tackle. He's a rotational defensive lineman. There's nothing wrong with that.
He's not going to rack up sacks. He's your, maybe, I don't know, Derek Notty's not under contract anymore.
Nope, that's your Derek Notty.
He's Derek Notty replacement. Finally, a defensive line acquisition. Doesn't change your concerns maybe about getting pressure on the quarterback, but another, I'm assuming, nothing 1-year deal with some incentives or something.
Similar boat when this changes nothing when the draft comes around, but it's a guy who's younger than Mike Pennell, who might have a little bit more ceiling there, and a guy who can be in the middle of that defense. Yeah, Derek Notty's been back, I think, on consecutive 1-year deals.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tershawn Wharton is out now. They just need some professional, grown-up defensive linemen. Jerry Tillery is one of those.
Yeah, this is a pretty inoffensive. I mean, I'm not going to come in here and be like, defensive line fixed.
What do we think this is? 1 year, $4.5 million or something? Maybe I'm off on that.
He's coming off a 0-sack season in which he played in 17 games. Yeah, I don't think it's less than 5, I would think.
Chiefs active on a Friday, huh? Two moves today. Kareem Hunt and now Tillery.
Yeah, Mike Pennell not on the roster right now. Derek Notty not on the roster. Tershawn Wharton leaves. If they're paying him a little bit more than that, I wonder if they do see him taking more of the Wharton role where he was playing starter-level snaps, rotationally in the D-line, right? But, they also have so many outside-inside guys where Mike Dana kicks in. Still no news on Charles Omenihu, worth noting. I think the Chiefs are keeping their ear to the ground on that one.
The longer he sits out, the better, honestly.
Yes, for the Chiefs, absolutely.
I am surprised, and I know that this is not how it works, but I am surprised that he is worth so much left on the open market, and Javon Kinlaw, a genuinely not very good football player, is worth $45 million. I don't understand it.
Joshua Uche signed before Omenihu.
Yeah.
My understanding,
he signed for nothing, but he still signed.
My understanding is that Charles Omenihu really wanted to get a real multi-year deal out of this offseason, and he hasn't played 2 full years. It's not his fault. I guess the suspension was. And then terrible timing on a disastrous knee injury in late January. But I think he doesn't want to have to take another 1-year prove-it deal. I think the Chiefs would be happy to give him a 1-year prove-it deal.
At this rate, would 2 for $20 get it done with him?
Well, the projection we went over earlier in the week, 2 for $18 was the projection.
Yeah,
I think 2 for $20, if with 18 guaranteed, would get it done. I think the Chiefs are going to say,
"Hey, true 2 year.
We'll just give you 1 for 9, and we'll just make it 1 for 9.5 or whatever it may be, and then you can truly hit free agency again next year." But the clock keeps ticking age-wise there, so it's tough.
It'll just be the last 60 seconds. Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Go to awaken180weightloss.com. But yeah, it's fine. It's a fine move. I'm not like over the,
Yeah.
He'll look good next to Chris Jones. Big body, plays in the interior. I hope he's good against the run.
That's two former Chargers defensive players now on the Kansas City Chiefs. Joshua Brisco, our Chiefs contributor. Perfect day to have you in, too, man. 2 moves. Great timing.
Incredible
timing. That all
timing.
worked out very nicely.
Walked you back on Kareem Hunt. Got to get excited about Jerry Tillery. Good times out here. The little fan club Friday feels good.
That's right. Hope everyone has a great weekend. On Monday, I'm sure we'll be talking some brackets. We'll find out who KU and MU were facing off with in the first round of the NCAA tournament. The Drive with C. Don and Rob coming up next.